You're watching Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Friday Night Rivals, presented by Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Good evening, everyone. So glad you are watching. We're glad to have you here live with us tonight from Pine Forest, the Washington Wildcats and the Pine Forest Eagles. I'm Christian Garman, along, of course, with Jeff Price. Jeff, I think we can book it. I know you've been a part of this team for longer than I have. Tonight, officially the nicest night in the history of Friday Night Rivals.
Oh, it's beautiful. I mean, the weather's chilling out a little bit. I know it's going to heat up a little bit more, but it doesn't matter tonight. Friday nights are built for high school football, and it couldn't be any better.
Oh, it's going to heat up down on the field tonight. I can tell you that, my friend. You know, this is an interesting situation tonight because, again, it's Washington at Pine Forest. 1 week ago tonight, it was Pine Forest at Washington. So to get a rematch a week later is certainly unique. But then, Jeff, on top of that, it was a thrilling game.
It really was, and Pine Forest came away with the win 14-6. Washington was driving inside the 3, and time expired on them.
Incredible.
I mean, how often do we get a rematch like this? I mean, this is going to be an amazing game tonight.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how the whole thing plays out. I hope we get something tonight as exciting as what we had a week ago when these two teams faced. So let's talk about what the teams have to do to walk out of here with a win tonight. And we'll start with Pine Forest, the home team, when we talk about the Northwest Florida State College keys to the game. And one thing I'll mention for Pine Forest, they actually, at this moment in time, we don't know yet who the starting quarterback is. They have a 2-quarterback system, Dalton Biggs and TJ Wilson. So we'll find out with all of you who the starting quarterback is going to be. But, Jeff, I know when we talk about the key for Pine Forest to walk away with a win, you're not thinking offense, are you?
I'm really not. I'm thinking defense. And when I looked at the score last week, the fact that they only gave up 6 points to a high-powered Washington offense, it's got to start with the defense again for Pine Forest. Rasheed Lovelace, that's the man I want you to know tonight, the defensive lineman. Already 3 sacks in this shortened season. A dominant defensive front. Pine Forest is going to have their hands full again tonight. But I tell you what, hey, 2 in a row, we'll see.
We'll see 2 in a row possibly against that team. So how about for the Wildcats? What do they need to do to get out of here with a win?
Like I said, surprised they didn't put up more points. And I think you go Amiel Steele, the quarterback, Eric Smith Jr., the wide receiver, and Greg Bullard, the running back. Now, I could name a million other athletes for Washington, but I tell you, that's the trio right there to look out for. And I talk about Pine Forest's defense. They got their hands full. They made the stops last week. I don't think you can do it 2 weeks in a row.
Well, we're all going to find out together. Of course, that's coming up as we have kickoff here in just a couple of minutes. It is Friday Night Rivals tonight. The Washington Wildcats against Pine Forest at Pine Forest 1 week later from playing the same 2 teams back at Washington. Should be a lot of fun. We'll do it next. We're live and back on a really, really lovely October night. Glad to have you with us as the teams are taking the field. Washington won the toss. They have deferred, so Pine Forest will be receiving. Here's a look at the Pine Forest offense. Keyshawn Qualls, Joseph Garrett, Gavin Grice, he'll play a big role tonight. He catches, and he's a running back for him. Cornell Bimbo, Dalton Biggs, Dagan Guy, Willie Durant, Jace Whitney, Dedrick Burrows, Kamarius Yelder, and Amari Wiggins making up the offensive lineup for Pine Forest. Brought to us, of course, by Pete Moore, and we're very appreciative of that as we are just about ready to go here. Yeah, let's kick this thing off. It's going to be a bit of a pooch. Fielded at the 30. Oh, and he trips up here. Had big dreams because he was moving toward the center of the field there, but not able to do anything with it. That was number 21.
Antonio Summerlin right there.
Yeah.
You see the Washington defense, by the way, Jalen Lewis, Mason Scruggs, Keyshawn Crenshaw, Jordan Lowry, Peyton Daniels, Tavian Dale. That's a name to remember at linebacker right there. How about Eldrick Robinson leading the area in tackles in our area, obviously, with 32. J.B. Harrison, J.D. Wright, Darian Silbert, and Santonio Coleman.
All right, so those are the starting lineups. Again, brought to you by Pete Moore, and we're ready for some action. Here we go. And our starting quarterback is going to be T.J. Wilson for Pine Forest. And that's number 22, Gavin Grice. As I mentioned, he'll get the ball a lot tonight. You know, until that moment, we did not know who was going to start. Jeff, they played 2 quarterbacks, and it's not a situation where one quarterback and T.J. Wilson is more of a runner, say, and Dalton Biggs is more of a passer. You know, Coach told me both guys can throw it down the field. It's just 2 different quarterbacks with talent. They let both play quarterback.
Yeah, I expect to see both of them tonight. And look, if I'm not mistaken,
right
you got
off the
Biggs
bat,
back
yeah,
in
here's
there.
Biggs.
So here we go. I guess it depends on what you're going to see on offense.
Yeah. And here comes Grice again. picks up a couple more. It's going to be 3rd and short. Interesting to immediately see both quarterbacks, 2 plays from scrimmage, and both already have a play under their belt. 3rd down and about a yard. It looks like Wilson, TJ, coming back into the game. Now, he also does run the ball out of the back, though, so him being in the game doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be the quarterback, but on this play, it looks like he will be.
Yeah, listed as an athlete, and so he can do a little bit of everything, and that's kind of what you expect in this offense. Well, what a mess that was.
I don't know exactly what happened, but I think they're going to be, Pine Forest says they got it. It's going to be very close. Is it a first down?
Yep, they're moving the chains.
Yeah, so that's well done.
Pine Forest first down.
From Long and Long, that's a first down. Our sponsors, Long and Long, of course, been on board with us all season long, and we appreciate it. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Yeah, remember last week it was a 14-6 ball game. Pine Forest has not been able to find their way on offense. Obviously scoring 14 last week and 7 the week before. So we'll see if they can get some offensive momentum going.
Little option here. Biggs was back at QB. He flips it off. And that was Joseph Garrett, or JoJo Garrett, as I just heard the PA announcer say. Picks up about 5.
I don't think I've ever seen quarterbacks swapping out every play. That's literally what we've seen so far. But Coach Ronnie Douglas, by the way, the new head coach of Pine Forest Eagles, that's a man right there that is well known in our area and well respected. So you know his team. You know what? He's got a plan, and I'm interested to see what it is.
They're going to make us earn our money tonight paying attention to who's QB.
Oh, my goodness. How about
Gavin Grice not going anywhere that time. Loses a few, and it'll be 3rd down now.
Boy, Peyton Daniels, number 2, the young man right there, the senior, 5'9", 172. How about the wrestling move? You call that a little suplex, huh? I didn't think that was legal, but I guess you can get away with it.
Anything goes here at Pine Forest. 3rd and about 6. A first down would cross midfield. Jeff, the offense for Pine Forest is like really tightly packed. Is that, nobody's wide out. It doesn't look like going to run it here on a little cross handoff there, and nothing doing. It'll be 4th down. That was
a bit of a wing T style offense when what you're looking here. And look, this is they want to run the football. A lot of misdirection. We talked about this with Catholic last week, as Catholic runs a bit of a pistol wing T. And you know what? This is why when you look at Pine Forest, they're going to try to scrap out some drives. And what I mean by that is they're trying to eat some clock, 2 or 3 yards each and every time they snap the football. But it's going to be tough sledding. Remember, they won the football game last week, but you can bet your bottom dollar that Washington is prepared. And so far, so good on defense.
Yep.
How about the fake?
It's a fake.
Oh, my
And he's
goodness.
going to get it, folks. He's going to get it. So the early trickery here leads to a long and long first down.
Datavius Grandison right there. And let me just tell you, that young man that he ran over was Tavian Dale. And that's probably one of the best linebackers in our area. That young man is no slouch on the defensive side. And I tell you what, he got caught. I guess he just wasn't expecting it like the rest of us, because, boy, if we get a replay on that, that was quite the blow delivered right there. But it looks like we got a flag.
Yeah, we do have a flag here. Let's hold on and see. It's going to be a false start, and that's going to negate the whole thing. And here comes the punting unit again, Dakota Weaver, number 45, the punter for Pine Forest. Jeff, I doubt it's a fake this time, and so the Wildcats catch a break. Here's another look at
this. Watch when he runs over this young. Bow! Man, that's Tavian Dale right there. I hate to call his name like that, but young man, yeah, that is going to be one that you don't want to go watch in the film room. Not a bad punt.
Yeah.
Pine Forest roll right there.
That's Preston Bozen. Would have had a shot to return, but he doesn't get that shot. Instead, we're going to see the Wildcat offense come onto the field, and this will be their first chance. So, boy, Jeff, you hate to see a fake punt that worked get negated like that. That's, if you're a Pine Forest fan, that's a bummer.
Yeah, and offensively, though, that's kind of been the year for them. As like I said, 14 points last week against Catholic a couple weeks ago. They lost that game 12-7, so only 7 points right there. So they've got to figure it out offensively. This is a team full of athletes. The defense is what's going to lead this team, though. So going to be interesting to see if they can hold this Washington team to under 6 points again.
Big hole up the middle and a big run still going. How about this? A huge gain. That's number 6 for the Wildcats, Miles Murphy. What a big play from scrimmage to start things off, Jeff.
Yeah, you talk about this Washington offense. I mean, you got Miles Murphy, Amiel Steele at quarterback, Greg Pullard. Once again, you even got the other Steele, Ariel Steele. We could go so many different guys on offense for these. There's so many weapons, and that's where pick your poison. I picked 3 guys in the open, and sure enough, look who's going ahead and getting it right there. Miles Murphy. Didn't even mention him in our open. So, once again, a high-powered offense. Eric Smith Jr., number 5 on the outside. You see the top of your screen there. 6'4" receiver, going to go to Middle Tennessee State. This team is loaded offensive. That's why, like I said, I'm still very confused that Pine Forest was able to hold them to 6 points, but we'll see what happens tonight.
So it's a long first down, exactly midfield now. This time Steele wants to throw it, but he overthrows it. Intended target there was Eric Smith. And, you know, Jeff, if memory serves, we're going to hear Eric's name all night, too. Big-time player.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, obviously, this defensive backfield for Pine Forest is very talented, but Eric Smith Jr., the young man, 6'4", 6'5", however you want to look at whatever measuring tape you want to use, the young man is just a monster on the outside. Now, remember, last time we saw this Washington squad, they were playing Escambia. MEL looked good early, and then slowly his youth started to show, so interested to see how much he's improved.
Yeah, everything changed in the third quarter. Here's another pass. Overthrew his man and could have been, probably should have been, picked off by the Eagles there. That's number 32 for Pine Forest.
Yeah, it looks like it surprised him a little bit that it came in his direction, and you see it trying to ease that pass in there, and boy, you set your receiver up for failure there, making the crossing pattern right there. But hey, nonetheless, it is what it is. But I'm going to tell you right now that Keantrez Middleton,
yep.
he knows he should have had a pick right there. He'll be looking for it next time.
Third and very long, and we've got some movement here.
We got movement on the line and flags on the field.
It's going to be some free yards for the Wildcats. They pick up 5 without even trying, so instead of 3rd and 10, it's 3rd and 5, and they are now officially across midfield.
Yeah, good call right there. Go with the hard count, and you know what, pick up some free yards, and now it's 3rd and very manageable.
Low snap handled nicely. Nice catch. Here comes Murphy again, and he's got more room. Having a very big night. That's Miles Murphy again. He's had his hands on the ball twice, and both have been big gains. It's a long first down, and it looks like all the way down to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, simple screenplay. You see it right there. Boom, perfect blocking. Look at the great blocking up front. And you know what, Miles Murphy, he's a pure athlete. He's going to go out and do the rest.
Pete and Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric, of course, giving us the replay as they have all season. This time, Miles is not going anywhere. Tackled in the backfield, loss of about 2.
Yeah, this is once again, I said this defensive front for Pine Forest is going to cause problems. And you know what? They're going to rush the quarterback. They're going to make it tough to run the football. For Washington, I think they're going to have to throw it. They're going to have to open it up and force these linebackers to take a couple steps back and honor the pass there to be able to get some open running lanes. But hey, once again, this offensive line for Washington they're just as good, but I tell you what, going to be a heck of a defensive matchup tonight. We got a young man offsides here.
More free yards, it looks like.
Encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Still second out.
You hope for the encroachment call, Jeff. You never know if you're going to get it. But
you always hope for the encroachment call. Got to get at least one a game.
That's
how about
football
it?
101. 2nd down and 8 instead of 13. Now at the 24-yard line. Amiel going to throw to the end zone, and he does have his man. And did he catch it?
Nope.
No, he didn't. Oh, that's a great-looking pass. Do we have a flag?
Yeah, we got a flag right here near the Pine Forest sideline.
Eric Smith, again, the intended receiver. That was a terrific pass.
Going to be a
false start.
Yep.
So it didn't matter anyway. So the ball is going to now come back 10. Instead of 2nd and 8, it's going to be 2nd and about 18, and that play is negated.
Illegal formation on the offense. 5 men in the backfield.
Check that.
5-yard penalty.
5-yard penalty.
Replay, second down.
And here's the thing. When you look at Amiel Steele throwing the football, it's almost like he just doesn't put enough on it. Hey, throw it out there. Let your guy go get it. And you know what? It's not a bad throw, but if that throw was on the outside, tell you what, that would have, not that would have mattered. Formation, but still, throw that ball to the sideline where only your guy can go get it.
Spectacular effort from Smith. So back to 2nd and 13, where we were before the Pine Forest penalty. We break even on that. Could see some movement here. No flag down. Amiel's going to keep it. And he's got some room, gets down to the 25, which just about is the line of scrimmage. So we're back to 3rd and 10.
Yep, I tell you what, the offensive line doing a fairly good job so far holding up. Now remember, these two teams once again played each other last week, so I don't think we're going to see any surprises. But nonetheless, the Pine Forest secondary holding their own there, forcing what I guess you could call it a sack. It looked like maybe he lost a couple inches, if not getting back to the line. But nonetheless, both defenses holding up pretty strong so far.
25-yard line, 3rd and 10. Wildcats have receivers out wide on both sides. And Amiel's got a man over the middle, but instead he's going to the corner and ends up being a bit of a defensive play from the Wildcat. That's Eric Smith again. Jeff, I think that ball gets picked off if he doesn't jump up and tip it.
Yeah, Eric Smith Jr. playing a little cornerback right here. You see Amiel just throwing it. He's just trying to throw it to a spot. And look, that's where you got to be careful. You know, he's a younger quarterback. He's going to grow. He's going to mature and get that pass pinpointed. But a great job on offense to play a little defense by Mr. Eric Smith Jr.
Yeah, I really think that might have gotten picked. Nonetheless, it's 4th down and a bit of no man's land here. The Wildcats don't want to kick the 42-yarder, so instead they're going for it. PA man says we need to stop. Will they get it? Amiel again throwing to a corner. And this one, it was caught, but they're going to call it out of bounds, so it's a turnover on downs. Either way, I think it ends up at the 25-yard line, and so that's where Pine Forest will come back and take over on offense.
Boy, I don't like the look here of Amiel Steele early on. I love the quarterback, very talented. Once again, he's showing some of his immaturity right now. He's throwing some balls, just throwing them up, and it's not like he's trying to make some reads here. You just see it right here. He just chunks it, hoping for the best. And,
and they did that like 4 times just now.
But like looks like we got a water break.
We're sitting in a water break at 5:32 in the first quarter. Friday night rivals from Hill Kelly Dodge, presented by Morgan & Morgan. We'll be right back.
You're watching Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Friday Night Rivals, presented by Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Welcome back, everybody. Glad to have you with us. Pine Forest now taking over after Washington turns it over on downs. 5:32 to go in the first. We are scoreless. Another option here. Not going anywhere. Might have picked up a yard. Tough to get a number on who that back was.
A lot of moving pieces right there.
No doubt.
I believe that was
Keyshawn
number 7.
Qualls.
Yeah.
And the quarterback exchange continues. If you're just joining us, we've seen it a lot so far. Pine Forest has switched quarterbacks almost, I think, on every single play. They have 2, Dalton Biggs and TJ Wilson. Looks like Wilson is back in right now as the clock continues to tick. They gave him 5 yards for that. I'm surprised. Another big gain. There is a flag on the play. Might be a hold, but otherwise we could be looking at a first down. We'll see what the flag is.
That is in the area of holding, and it will be holding.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, 2nd down.
All right. So I think that might have been a long first down being called back. A nice little gain. See if we can see it on the Peden replay here.
Yep, there it is right there.
Good call.
That guy. It's that guy right there.
2nd down and about 15 now instead. Back right at the 20-yard line.
Not what this offense is built for.
Biggs back in. No, they don't seem too interested in throwing the ball.
They may have to change their philosophy here pretty soon.
Another handoff. And again, it's Qualls who gets a couple. It's going to be 3rd and long, though. 3rd and about 13, it looks like. The first down would come at the 35-yard line if they can get there.
Obviously, in predictable downs, Washington's going to be looking out for the pass. But I'm telling you, first or second down, you better be careful because if Dalton Biggs can throw the football, he's proven he can throw the football at times when he needs to. Now, obviously, TJ, we'll see. But this is where you got to be careful. Now, 3rd and long like this, I don't think you're worried as much.
Well, here's Biggs, and he's back in. As you say, he can throw. This may be his best first chance to do so. It's not. Sorry, Biggs was next to him, and they don't give it to Biggs. They go to Wilson. Boy, it's tricky. They were literally 3 inches apart, and they go to Wilson instead, who keeps it, picks up a few, but not enough. It'll be 4th down, and the punting unit coming on now for Pine Forest. So another stop for that defense from the Wildcats.
And look at this. Already 3 minutes left in the first quarter. We're rolling right along so far.
It's moving.
It's a great job so far for Washington. Obviously, defensively, Pine Forest, same thing here. 2 completely different offenses. Pine Forest wants to just run the football. They want to try to run it down your throat. This is the wrong type of team to try to want to do that against that defensive front. But, hey, going to get to see Washington get the football back and see if they make some changes.
Weaver catches the high snap. Nearly gets blocked. It may have gotten touched. It's a very short punt. stays on this side of the field, gets a nice little bounce, and hops to the 49-yard line. But it's the 49 of Pine Forest. So the Wildcats, Jeff, are going to start in very good field position. I'm not sure if that punt got touched. There was a lot of pressure on Weaver.
That, or can we get Alan Strum here? You're a weather guy.
Can we get Alan Strum?
I'm so sorry.
Have I ever been more offended in my life? Can we get Alan? Oh,
Look, I want to check the wind on that one.
shot to the heart. They actually have a very nice weather station here, I noticed. Second week in a row we've seen this.
I believe you checked their weather station out.
Can we get Alan? Boy, I won't forget that moment anytime.
Yes, I know. I deserve it. No, but the wind, it looked like caught that one and brought it back a little bit. So, I just wanted to get the weather and just find it out.
Could be.
Not going to ask Alan, though.
No. I'll going to hand it off up the middle here. It's a pickup of 3 or 4 and down at the 45-yard line.
So we've seen Amiel Steele throw the football a little bit, and he struggled. And credit this Pine Forest secondary, as there's some weapons out there for him to throw it. But remember, it's going to be tough sledding to run the football, and you see a good gain right there on first down. Rasheed Lovelace, number 55, the young man right there, tied. He's in the top 10 right here in sacks in our area, and I expected him to get to the quarterback sometime tonight.
There's another run. Nice couple of moves, but nothing doing. That was number 21, Santonio Coleman, who maybe got a yard. It's going to be 3rd and long, about 8, maybe 7.
So I know we talked about it, but this weather is just beautiful tonight. I mean, this is just typical fall weather when you're talking about playing football.
Yep.
Man, we don't get this opportunity a whole lot down here in the South, so
No.
it's beautiful tonight, though.
Terrific night. Real pleasure to be up here in the booth. 3rd down. Steele does once again. Had his man there, Jeff. Did he throw it behind him, or was that an okay pass?
Well, I think it was a good throw, and the reason I say that is the young man, which looks like number 18 right there, Blessed Hayes, he's got to settle because there's a linebacker. Remember, he ran into the linebacker earlier, and Amiel's trying to throw it to that one spot where his receiver doesn't get killed, and so the receiver, Blessed Hayes, has got to stop. I mean, that you teach receivers, hey, find an open spot and sit down. And that's what he was trying to do there, but he just kept trying to run, and the ball was behind him.
So the Pine Forest Eagles get the stop they were looking for. It's 4th down. Qualls is back to this, too, is a very, very high but very, very short punt. Keyshawn Qualls will definitely not get a chance to field it. And it's going to be down right at the 20. So decent. It worked out okay for Washington. It was a very short punt, but because they were punting from their side of the field anyway, it's still going to pin Pine Forest back just a bit, back at around the 20-yard line. That's where the offense will kick things off here as the clock is down to 1:35 here in the first quarter.
And one thing, notice that Washington, remember against Escambia, they would have went for that. They would have went on that 4th down play. I mean, they weren't scared. Credit the respect to Pine Forest's defense and the type of ball game both these coaches believe that this is going to be, which is another defensive grinder.
Yeah. Hey, I'm fine with that. Remember, these two teams played literally a week ago tonight, and it was a great game. Pine Forest won 14-6, and Washington was down at the 3-yard line of Pine Forest as time expired. It was a great game, and so far tonight's also is terrific. Looks like Biggs is in right now at quarterback. He's going to pitch that back over to Gavin Grice, who gets a few.
Great first down play. They get a little bit of an open hole there. And look, all they need is one block, and they can spring it and go for 6. And that's what makes it so tough when you play defense against us, because we talked about last week playing against Catholic and running that pistol wing tee. You got to play gap football. That's the same thing here. Now, this defense plays pretty darn good gap-to-gap football, but one mistake, and he is off to the races.
So Grice picks up 8 there. Like you said, a great first down. Now it's 2nd and short. Here comes Grice again. It will be a long first down now at the 34-yard line, and the chains will move, as does the clock now, down to under a minute in this first quarter.
Yeah, how about it? First down. I'm ready to see Pine Forest throw the football. That's what I'm ready, to be honest with you. I want to see them open it up a little bit, but hey.
They haven't done it yet.
No, but I'm telling you, it's coming, and you just wonder if Washington is going to fall asleep on defense.
Well, Grice is back in here at quarterback, but he's not throwing it. They're going to run that right back up the middle, and that's JoJo Garrett, who ends up losing several, but I think forward progress will get him a couple.
Yeah, you know what? It looks about 2.5 yards right there on first down, and for Pine Forest. Positive yards is good yards, my friend. That is all you need right now as you look at that. Will probably be the last play of the first quarter.
And a very interesting first quarter as the offense of Pine Forest switches quarterbacks almost, if not every single offensive play. But at this point, all for naught because it is 0-0. Hill Kelly Dodge, Chrysler Jeep Rams, Friday night rivals from Morgan & Morgan. Glad you're with us.
You're watching Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Friday Night Rivals, presented by Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
We are back. Good to have you here, folks. Second down now for Pine Forest at the 36-yard line. Second and I'd say about 7, it looks like, as they continue the quarterback rotation. This time Biggs out of the shotgun, so perhaps for the first time a pass.
Hey-o.
Yes, indeed. Won't gain much, but the ball does actually get into the air. That's Keyshawn Qualls on the reception and might have picked up a yard or 2.
Yeah, I'll take it, though. I mean, throwing the football. How about it? So, I wouldn't expect it a whole lot, but you see it. And I'm interested to see Pine Forest try to throw the football down the field. And obviously in a 3rd and 5 situation, are they going to run the football? I mean, that's going to be tough sledding against this defense. But, look, Pine Forest has the athletes out in space that they can throw the football if they need to. But it's not their forte. Let's just say that.
Biggs will stay in at quarterback here, 3rd and about 5. And he is going long, Jeff, as you were asking for it. Oh, mercy.
Oh, my goodness.
Hit his receiver on the fingertips, but maybe just a foot out of reach. From Pete, we bring you the replay here.
Look at this. And then what a beautiful pass right there. That was a pinpoint accuracy, maybe a little too far, I guess.
So, Jeff, let me ask you. Like, okay, as you've been saying, he can sling it. That's a good-looking pass. And they don't throw it at all in the first quarter. And now the first couple of plays in the second quarter, it's 2 passes after none. Do you think this is Coach Douglas's plan? He's mixing up quarterbacks. He's completely changing things. He's trying to keep Washington on their toes here.
I wish. Look, Coach Douglas has been coaching for quite some time. I wish I could tell you what his idea was. Swapping quarterbacks every play, I have no idea. I would love to ask him that, when we get a chance, whether it's before going into the half or after the half, because that's very interesting. I've never seen a coach. I've coached before. I played. I've never seen a coach do it the way he's doing it tonight. But, hey, you know what? It is what it is.
Yeah, it's not hurting him yet, and that was gave him a chance to open things up there. By the way, that really was a terrific punt, and that will pin Washington back deep in their own territory. That's where they're going to take things over, back on the 11-yard line. So very nice work. And again, the Dakota Weaver, the punter for Pine Forest, deserves the shout-out after that terrific effort.
Yeah, and here we go. We're going to see this Washington offense again. Now, remember, they were held to 6 points last week, had an opportunity to score there. Going in toward the end of the game, time expired as they were at the 3. This is I tell you what, it's been a different Washington offense we saw a couple weeks ago, but credit that Pine Forest defense.
Amiel Steele, the quarterback for the Wildcats here. Nothing doing on the handoff, maybe a yard.
Looks like, I believe that was Miles Murphy on the carry.
Murphy's had his hands on the ball a lot tonight. Had a couple of big plays and one a loss, and then just picks up a yard there. So he's kind of all over it right now, but playing a huge role for the Wildcats on the offensive side. It's going to be 2nd and 9.
I tell you what, I like Miles Murphy out of the backfield, throwing him the ball. Let him catch it and run with it.
Do his thing, yeah. Oh, look at this.
Uh-oh.
Something not right with that particular exchange. That's more than encroachment.
We've got pre-snap movement.
Yeah, but that's the 2nd or 3rd time, I believe, that's been the case for Pine Forest. Just a little too eager, my man.
Yep.
Hey, I know you're trying to go back there and get that quarterback, but you can't give away free yards to a team like this.
2nd down and 4, as the PA announcer has said, we've got pre-snap movement. Yes, we did have pre-snap movement. That's exactly what we had. 2nd down and about 4 now. Ball back out to about the 18-yard line after the penalty. Steele thought about passing it, but he keeps it.
Great job.
Yeah, lots of yards there. And from Pensacola State College, that will be a 1st and 10 for the Wildcats as the chains move.
Yeah, great job right there. Feels the pressure, moves up in the pocket, sees some green, some open green, and goes ahead and takes it. And you know what? That's sometimes you don't have to make the big play, Amiel, and he knows that. And once again, this is a very talented quarterback that if you go back and watch his film, his 7-on-7, I mean, he is phenomenal. Just going to take some time. He's a sophomore. He's going to get better, but a great job right there, just feeling the pressure and taking off.
25-yard line.
So Miles Murphy is in the backfield with Amiel Steele. You said you like that. They're going to hand it off to him, and he picks up 2 or 3. Had me fooled for a minute. I thought maybe Steele kept it, but it was a handoff.
I mean, once again, you look at this Washington offense, and there's athletes all over the place. They could give it to a million different guys, and they got guys that are sitting there on the bench that, when you look at it, I mean, so much speed, so much ability. And, how about these scores? We got some scores with some big games coming out here from the Northwest Florida State Sports Booth. Northwest Florida State College, we appreciate them as well, and some big games around the area.
2nd down now and 7. Another handoff.
That's a good move, and then met with another eagle in his face.
Not going to get much, if anything, out of it. That's Antonio Coleman. So it'll be 3rd down. Northwest Florida State College Sports Booth, as you said. You know, it's worth noting that Northwest Florida State College, one of our great partners. You know, it's you talk about sponsors a lot with things like this. It's like these sorts of events bring you a live football game. They don't happen easy. It's certainly not cheap to do it. So shout out to those guys and all of our sponsors for helping us, because we couldn't do it without them. 3rd and about 8. Steele wants to throw it. He's got a man wide open. Threw it a little high. It was caught, but short of the 1st down. That's a terrific catch hauled in by number 18. That's Blessed Hayes. It's a good catch, but short of the 1st.
Boy, you're talking about anxiety just watching him backpedal. I hate when a receiver backpedals like that. Keep running backwards, young man.
Wildcats going for it now. 4th down and 2.
Yeah, this is a bold move, Cotton. I'm telling you, inside your own 40.
Yep.
And looks like they're going to talk about it.
So they do want to talk about it. Coach Whidden calls a timeout. When we come back from this break, it will be 4th and 2. Will the Wildcats go? Stay tuned.
You're watching Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Friday Night Rivals, presented by Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
We are back, and not a huge crowd, of course, these days. With COVID, you're not going to expect a huge crowd. One is not even allowed, as we know high school games are capped at 30%. Lots of folks wearing their masks tonight. They've announced that several times, asking people to keep their distance and wear their masks. Exciting moment of the game as it's 4th down, and Washington thought about it and said, nope, we're going to go ahead and punt this thing, Jeff.
Yeah, going to play the defensive battle, and I thought it was going to be a bold move, obviously inside the 35 there. You know what? Those guys, Coach Whidden, he knows it better than I do, but I think this is the right decision.
It's a good-looking punt. Woo, that's a real good punt. Qualls catches it and drops it.
And Washington will recover.
So punting works out real well for the Wildcats. You know, Qualls went for that over-the-shoulder catch on a spectacular punt, not able to make the play, and that's the first big break. Here's a replay now from Pete Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric.
What a great pass right there by Eric Smith Jr. to connect with the receiver down the field. Ultimately, that's what it was, a big pass down the field, however you want to mark it up. It's Washington football, and those are moments right there. People forget about special teams, but simple things like that in a ball game that's 0-0 in a defensive battle, that right there can win you a football game.
Yep. It's a big moment, the first big one of the game, I'd say. So the Wildcats get to keep the offense on the field, although they get a huge switch of the field in terms of field position. Now down at the 29-yard line of Pine Forest, and Steele says, oh, goody, this worked out. And he wants to throw it deep right now. Got his man over the middle. That's a great catch. And, of course, we know who that is, Eric Smith.
Yeah, Eric Smith Jr. right there. 6'4" across the middle. That's the guy I want to throw to across the middle of the field. And great job setting down. We talked about it. Find an open spot. You see our Heating and Air Conditioning instant replay. Find an open spot, set down, and that's what he did.
It's a 1st and 10 now from Pensacola State College. And the ball now down to the 15-yard line. Red zone for the Wildcats. Murphy going to keep this one. Handoff up the middle, picks up a couple of yards. They're using Murphy a lot tonight, Jeff.
Yeah, it looks like he, a couple weeks ago we saw it was Greg Bullard. Now it looks like Miles Murphy is the hot hand.
Yeah.
And, I haven't seen Greg Bullard. Not sure if he's injured or what's going on with him. We know how dynamic he was in that game. But for Amiel Steele, I like the play call earlier, by the way, with Eric Smith Jr., a high percentage throw, get him a completion, and let's move on.
So no gain on that play. 2nd and 10 again. Got trips for Washington on the near side of the field here. And Steele looks to the opposite side instead. And it's a great catch But no, he's out of bounds. That's Eric Smith, who had to fight to get his hands on that ball. There was definitely some contact. He pulls it in, but out of bounds. Let's take a look at the replay and see. Dan trips on this side. They go to Smith on the other side. Look at him making the effort there. There's the contact.
Oh, yeah, he was out. And
woo, great call.
He had stepped out.
Yeah.
If you look a step ago, he had stepped on the line there. But nonetheless, a good throw. And you see, that's just how physical. Eric Smith Jr. is not just this tall, lanky receiver. He can also shove some guys around. And tell you what, that was a great job. Just a couple inches out of bounds, though.
So it's just a long fly ball. 3rd down and 10 now. Steele.
Wow.
This guy has his man wide open. Woo!
Blessed Hayes.
That's a touchdown for Blessed Hayes from our friends at Ascend Performance Materials. Well done. Kind of going the opposite way there, Jeff, and it worked out real well.
Yeah, you watch it, it's a throwback. So the quarterback's going to roll out one way, and then he's going to stop, plant, and the receiver's coming across the other way. Beautiful play call right
himself.
there. Man, oh man, great job. Great pitch and catch and a touchdown Wildcat.
I think Hayes made that catch a little harder than it had to be, but he was able to get it done, and the Wildcats strike first here with 7:03 to go, and now on for the extra point here. That's Ricky Bucko. It's good. It's 7-0. The Wildcats take the lead. We'll be right back, folks. Friday Night Rivals on a perfect Gulf Coast night.
You're watching Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Friday Night Rivals, presented by Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
We're back. 7 minutes to go here in the second quarter. The Wildcats, coming off the turnover on the punt, worked out real well as they're able to score. Blessed Hayes with a touchdown reception, and they're kicking off now. It's going to be another short kick. That's number 21 for Pine Forest, Summerlin, who fields it and gets it to about the 35-yard line.
Well, here we go. Pine Forest, you know what? They weren't down last week. Obviously they won the football game 14-6, but well, how does this offense run? Now, you got to be careful. Obviously, they're running the football, running that wing T style offense. That's what they want to do. They want to try to, lull you to sleep, be able to make a completion down the field. We saw, obviously, with Dalton Biggs, he can throw the football a little bit, but down 7-0, 6:55, still plenty of time here. Do they continue to try to run, or do they try to get a quick pass in here?
And Biggs will be the quarterback here, which is notable because if you haven't been with us, they're changing quarterbacks on about every play, although Biggs seems to be getting a little more now, and he does want to pass. He's in some trouble, though, and this is going to be a huge loss on the pressure from that Wildcat defense, an enormous loss there, all the way back at the 23-yard line. And here's a look at the replay, Jeff.
Yep, and look, there's somebody forgot to block a couple dudes right there, and those couple dudes were none other than Jadarius Wright and looked like Eldrick Robinson. I tell you what, great job right there. And maybe that, a little bit of a safety blitz, a secondary blitz there. Nonetheless, it worked out.
Yeah, it worked out real well if you happen to be a Wildcat fan. Second down now and very long, about 22 after the huge loss. And Wilson back at quarterback this time. He'll pass it for the first time tonight. Qualls on the reception, not able to gain much, gets a couple, but it'll be 3rd and long. So now both quarterbacks have at least one pass under their belt. We've only seen the ball go in the air for Pine Forest about 3 times tonight.
I really don't know. Look, personally right here, I think you go ahead and just bite the bullet and say, you know what, we're going to try to run the football, we're going to punt it away, we're going to play good defense, and we're going to get another opportunity. I don't know if we're going to see Pine Forest try to throw the football down the field here and chance a big-time interception.
So 3rd now and almost 20, it looks like. Wilson is going to throw it, and he's going to throw it way down the field, but he overthrows it. Not a bad-looking pass either, though. So
no,
both
Washington
quarterbacks can throw it. Yeah.
Double coverage right there. Washington was prepared for that, and that's what I was talking about is you wonder, you just run the football and be able to punt it away. But, hey, you know what? No harm, no foul.
Right.
Nobody but his man would have been able to catch that anyway as it was down the sideline. So, you know what? Not that it matters, but not a bad play call.
So Weaver now back in. He's been given several chances to punt, and Preston Boson is back for the Wildcats. He'd love to actually get a shot at a return. He hasn't been able to do so yet. He's right at the 40-yard line with 5:25 to go. And that ball nearly blocked. Boson will get his chance, though, right in his arms. Not able to do too much. Fields it at the 40, gets to about the 43-yard line. So nice coverage from Pine Forest. I'll tell you, Jeff, I don't know how he got that ball off. That thing looked like it was going to get blocked. There was lots of pressure.
Yeah, I tell you what, great job right there by the cover team for Pine Forest as well, as that was a bit of a line drive punt. Like you said, surprised he got it away. And Bosun's a good return. But, hey, once again, special teams playing a big role there. So, look, for Pine Forest, you've got to be able to make a big stop. Obviously, the special teams play, it was very unfortunate.
And it looks like we have a water break, so we're going to take a quick break ourselves. We'll be back in about 1 minute here on Friday Night Rivals.
You're watching Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Friday Night Rivals, presented by Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
We are back here. As you can see, the Wildcats up on Pine Forest 7-0. Remember, they played last week, and Pine Forest won 14-6. So all in all right now, Jeff, I guess the score is 14-13. Do they add them up together? And
I guess at this point.
Does that see who wins overall?
At this 5 wide right here, empty backfield.
Ooh, low snap and a flag on the play, so none of it's going to matter.
Pre-snap movement. Flag flag.
Pre-snap movement.
That's right.
Yeah.
That is going to be a false start. So not a great start for the Wildcats if they lose 10 yards without even trying. Oh, Jeff, that's a 5-yard. I thought that was a 10-yard penalty, but maybe it was.
It's 5.
Yeah. False start is?
False start's 5.
Oh, I thought it was 10.
I feel like you knew that, but it's just been one of those days for
Maybe. You're nice to give me
We've
the
had
credit.
our encroachment call.
We've had
It's getting a little cool. We don't know what's going on.
1st and 15 now.
Fair's coming next week.
That's right. Steele throws over the middle a little bit high. Whew. And Eric Smith saying, where's the flag, man? I got drilled, and that ball was nowhere near me, but no flag on the play. It'll be 2nd and 15. Jeff, you mentioned, here's a look at the replay from Peden Heating, and you can see, right there, Smith says, come on. Give me the call. You mentioned the fair, the Pensacola Interstate Fair, starting here in just a few days. And we're close, man. Here we are at Pine Forest. I mean, you can almost see where the Ferris wheel would be right down the way. And I hope that they get weather like this because it's spectacular. 2nd and long. Steele able to complete the pass under some pressure there. It's well done by Amiel, number 27.
Yep, and tell you what, the flag coming in, that's going to be a face mask, a late face mask penalty. And that's very unfortunate for Pine Forest as they had a big stop on a big play right there.
On the defense, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
So it's an incidental face mask.
Yep. Jeremiah Freeman makes the catch, and then they get the extra 5. And so it will be from Pensacola State College, a 1st and 10. You know, Jeff, minutes ago I was talking about the fair, and I said, you could almost see the Ferris wheel from here. What I didn't know until Jack Canavan told me in my ear, apparently the Ferris wheel's already up, so preps have begun.
I like it.
No
I'm
kidding.
down with it.
Ooh, man. Favorite part of the fair for me? What do you think? Take a guess.
Oh, the food? It better be the food.
Was there any doubt?
God, I mean, that's the greatest part about it.
No doubt. So it is 2nd and 9 rather than 1st and 10. My apologies on that. Steele wants to go deep, and he does have a man.
Oh, my
Is
goodness.
it picked off? Well, it sure was. Just a great catch. The ball was in the air a little bit too long. And number 23 for Pine Forest.
Raymond Moore. Oh, my goodness. Somebody, look, he just stole his lunch money.
Wow.
That young man just stole his lunch money. Amiel Steele.
And look at Moore, too. He is, like, loving it.
Oh, my goodness. Young man, I'm with it, too. That was awesome. We talk about so many times corners not getting their head around. And it wasn't a bad pass. It needed to be a little more in a line here, but it was a pinpoint on the spot. And I tell you what, Raymond Moore, watch this.
He said, no.
Peeks and he said, oh, wait a minute.
I'll take that.
Thank you, sir.
You know, you say it wasn't a bad pass, and I agree, although it did feel like it hung in the air for an hour and a half, and it gave Moore all that time to get there.
Yeah, it needs to be a little more in a line right there, but great job by Mr. Moore, and that is a big, big-time interception.
Yeah, big turnover there, so it gives Pine Forest what they need with 4:21 to go here in the half, a chance to do something as they are trailing 7-0. Remember, they had punted away a few minutes ago, and we thought it could give Washington a real chance to take command of the game, but that's not what happens. Instead, the Eagles get the big turnover.
And that's when you know it's a defensive type of ball game whenever I'm getting excited over plays like that. It's just my heart flutters. I love good defensive plays. And this is we haven't had a good defensive grinding out style ball game this year. And, boy, this is looking like it.
Yeah, so far, for sure. Not sure what they're trying to figure out right now. Switching out balls.
They were talking about the fair and the food, what they were going to do.
I'm all in on that conversation. I'm a big elephant ear guy myself.
Ooh.
You ever had an elephant ear?
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. All right, Wilson in at quarterback this time around. It's a low snap. The ball's on the ground. Wilson's able to pick it up. Tries to just push the defender out of the way, but nothing doing. And it's a big loss there.
Looks like Washington picked up the ball as it was a fumble.
Oh, check that. Man, sorry, I totally missed that. So it's a turnover. So after the big interception, let's watch this again because I should have thought the play was over. I was dead wrong as Washington takes command. Here we go.
Yeah, Peyton Daniels comes in with the hit, number 2 right here, and just continues to drive, rips the ball out, and Jalen Lewis, number 7, the young man
just fights for it in that little pile. I don't know how. Look at that. Yeah,
that is awesome.
Well done.
We just talked about the big interception right there, and then we see the miscue on offense for Pine Forest, and here we go. The Washington offense is back out again.
You know, and by the way, Wilson, I don't blame Wilson for that. The snap basically rolled to him.
Yep.
You know, that was the problem there. Be a nice
Santonio Coleman on the carry.
And picks up about 8.
It's weird. We see whenever Washington gets the football, typically on offense, they've kind of been lackluster. And we talked about this a few weeks ago. Teams that play with swagger, this is that Washington team. And you look, a turnover earlier on a big play on the special teams play, they come out and they score. And right here, they're playing with a different energy right now.
So down at the 33-yard line, 2nd and about 3. Steele going to keep this one himself. Oh, and he's stuck. He might have gotten a yard. Who was that?
Oh, my goodness. That looked
number
like
3, it looks
number
like.
3, Nevaeh Toller-Harrison.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh. Boy, that made my insides hurt.
Watch this.
Well, you're not putting a move on him. Well, he just stays true, and that is a form tackle. Pow!
Woo! Mercy.
Drives with the shoulder. Oh, that is textbook.
Very importantly, it does stop Steele shy of the first down. So instead of a 1st and 10, it's 3rd and about a yard.
Washington's got a jumbo package. Looks like a Wildcat package right here with Santonio Coleman. And there he goes.
Coleman's going to keep it himself, and it will be a PSC 1st and 10 inside the red zone. A big gain there for the Wildcats down to the 13-yard line. Jeff, wouldn't they all be Wildcat packages for Washington?
Yes, they are all Wildcat packages with them. That is a valid point, sir. I'm not going to argue that one tonight.
Thank you. I mean, for any other team, I'm on board with your call, but when it's the Washington Wildcats, 1st and 10.
They're going to stay with this jumbo Wildcat package.
And Coleman not able to field the snap. A little bit out of his comfort zone there. Jeff, he doesn't regularly play quarterback, and that time ball hits his hands, then hits the ground. They're lucky to get it back.
Yeah, now we're going to see the original crew come back in here. And you got to have some soft hands whenever you play quarterback taking those snaps. And that was a direct snap, obviously, a pretty good snap right there. And for a quarterback, that's the one you like. Maybe for a running back, you want it a little bit easier, but nonetheless, a big-time loss for the Washington Wildcats.
Yep, they lose about 8. It'll be 2nd down and 18. A 1st down would get them all the way down to the 4, so they've got a ways to go. They're right at the 20-yard line, as you can see.
Inside 2 minutes now.
Well, you and the PA announcer.
We're on it.
Yeah, that ball's going to be thrown. It was caught. He sure did catch it, but he's out of bounds. What a catch once again.
Nevaeh Toller-Harrison. That's the young man that had the blow right there on Amiel Steele earlier. Watch how he just snatches it out of the air, though. That's impressive, young man.
It's a good catch, but he's out of bounds.
He said, come on, can I get the instant replay here? I need a little help on this. Let's find out whether he was in or out. I tell you what, it was close. Look at this. This is a beautiful. Oh, nope.
Now, he's out of bounds, but what a catch. There is a flag on the play, by the way, so wait and see what this flag is. It's sitting way back at about the 30, 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Oh, it's a roughing the passer
call.
So just like that, the Wildcats get the 1st down all the way down at the 10-yard line. That's huge. And with 1:47 to go, that's the last thing Coach Douglas wanted. Drive in good shape if you're a Wildcat fan. We were so busy watching the pass, didn't see the action back there that Amiel apparently took a shot. Coleman again on his feet all the way down to the 2-yard line. Heck of a run. It was 1st and goal from right at the 10, so it will be 2nd down and goal now.
Yeah, you see Coleman 5'9", about 173. I don't even know if he's 173, but I tell you what, when you're determined to run the football, that's what you're going to get, and there's none better than Coleman.
And here he is again, and he's going to go out wide, and he's got a shot to get in the end zone, and he sure does. And from Ascend Performance Materials, that is a touchdown. And the Wildcats have taken a big lead now, 13-0, with a chance at the extra point. Jeff, I normally would not call 13-0 a big lead, but given that we've seen nothing so far from Pine Forest offense, that's going to be a tall order unless they can turn things around. Here's another look.
Yeah, great job. Just the vision. He says, all right, it's not there. I'm going to bounce it outside. He knows he's got a couple yards, and he finds the end zone. But, no, you're absolutely right. In a game like this is tough sledding. Pine Forest is going to have to get some big plays moving the ball down the field in the second half.
And here's Ricky Bucco on for the extra point. He's 1 for 1 on the night. Make it 2 for 2. Well done. And with 1:18 to go, it is now 14-0 Washington. So, gosh, Jeff, you know, the Eagles are left with a little bit of time, but hard to believe they'll be able to mount something unless they can get a nice big return on the kickoff to get them a shot at some pretty good field position. Because, again, the offense so far hasn't done that much.
No, you're absolutely right. And I tell you what, this is, you're getting into some territory that as an offense, you want to run the football. And by the way, I've been saying the wing tee. It's not really the wing tee. I apologize for that. It's more of a flex bone. I had to go back and check my own notes on this.
Well,
flex bone, wing tee, veer, they have a lot of movement. I know you were talking about.
I didn't want to say it, Jeff. I mean, it was one of these things where every time you said it, I was cringing.
I know. I
was
could
like,
tell.
Does this guy really think that's a wing tee?
It's the wing tee. Who runs the wing tee, right?
By the way, the wing tee is the regular drink I get at any fast food.
The old wing tee.
I'll take a large wing tee with a sweet and low, please.
But no, this is running the flex bone here, the old school. Ronnie Douglas breaking it out. Tough sledding, though. You're going to have to throw the football at some point, especially down 14-0 now. Takes you out of your zone a little bit.
Another short kick. He's gone 80 yards sideways. Ends up getting a couple of yards, but not a whole lot. That, again, was Antonio Summerlin, who's had 2 or 3 shots at returns tonight. And with 1:07 to go, we'll have to see if the Eagles can get lucky, get some kind of magic going here. But Jeff, at the same time, the last thing you want to do is turn it over, go for something crazy, and give the Wildcats a chance for a little bit more.
Yeah, it's you got to be careful here. But I got to look. I know we're up here in the Northwest Florida State College sports booth. A couple quick scores for you. Crestview up on Milton right now. How about that? 14-10. Pensacola Catholic, Christian, you'll like this. Up 12-0 over PHS. Unfortunately for Gulf Breeze, trying to find their first win. Looks like it may not be this week as they're down 21-0 right now to Panama City Mosley.
Big's going to throw over the middle, and he's got his ball. Boy, that ball was just staying like an inch in front of him. He could not pull it in. That's Keyshawn Qualls not able to pull it down. Let's watch that again here on the peak replay. It's
he
a good
had
looking
a little
pass.
Popcorn on the sidelines. Watch this. Oh, I got it.
Hold on, jump.
Oh, my goodness.
It's a lot funnier for us than it is for Qualls or Pine Forest.
Insert cartoon noises there. That's what you're going to get right there is the old, you know what, shouldn't have had that popcorn on the sideline. Comes back to bite him.
Second down now and 10. And because they're needing some passes here, Biggs is in, and he makes a completion. Ball gets out of bounds, and so at least with 53 seconds left, the drive is moving. It's going to be third down now and about 3 at the 40-yard line.
I know, obviously, that pass, you see that, Washington's playing a little prevent, a little dropping back in the zone there, letting them keep everything in front of them. But the pass before as well, 2 good passes for Dalton Biggs so far.
3 to go.
All right. Going to be a completion here and gets out of bounds. That's well done. That's Keyshawn Qualls, who this time is able to make the catch, and it will be a 1st and 10 from Pensacola State College as the chains will move out near midfield at the 47-yard line.
Hey, for Pine Forest, if they'll give it to you, you've got 40 seconds. Keep taking it, and maybe you know what, they bite up a little bit, and you can throw it over the top. We know that Dalton Biggs can throw it down the field.
Worth noting too, the Eagles do have all 3 timeouts. So, it's a low snap, but a good play to recover, and they are going to call a timeout now because that clock would have kept rolling.
Great job by Gavin Grice, just getting on the football on that one, by the way.
Yeah, Grice is all over the ball. and able to recover the low snap there. We do see a lot of issues with centers, don't we?
Boy, we do. It's unfortunate, but you know what? Sometimes it happens, and I'm not going to say because it's a freezing cold temperatures. You know, it's maybe he's a little surprised.
It's
you know,
like
sometimes
60.
your hand. Yeah, I know, but sometimes your hand gets, a little cold.
No, not in this.
No, I'm. That's what I'm saying. I'm not. He's not going to get the credit for that.
You know
one,
what, Jeff? Maybe we should ask Alan Strom.
Can we?
Boy, you don't know when to quit.
Oh, man. By the way, another score for those in the north end of the county. Northview's up 35-20 over South Walton right now. Not that Christian cares at this point. Jay 14-7 over Freeport. And remember, a couple of games that were postponed this week was Pace and Fort Walton Beach and Navarre at Niceville due to COVID-19 concerns.
So after the low snap, it's going to be a loss of a yard or two, second and about 12 now, with 41 seconds to go. Biggs will stay in at quarterback here for Pine Forest.
What an awesome quarterback name, by the way.
Yeah, Biggs, that's good. Dalton Biggs, yeah, I like it. 4 different receivers out for Pine Forest. Biggs is being chased, and he's going to throw that one away. And now
boy,
a very late flag, yeah.
And it looks like it's probably going to be, looks like it's going to be against Pine Forest, and that will be unfortunate.
Yeah. Trying to mount something here in the waning seconds of the half, and that's not going to help.
How on this there, Ruffins? After.
So it's a personal foul. Obviously, the mic went out, but that's okay. We know what that sign is. So a personal foul is going to move this thing way back, and at this point, the Eagles may end up saying, "All right, well, not to be. We're going to have to just be careful here and not make a costly turnover in the final few seconds."
Yeah, not sure if that was. I believe it was number 50, Amari Wiggins, the unfortunate foul right there for him. Not what they needed. I think at this point for Pine Forest, let's just go ahead and you got to be careful now because. At third down, Washington still has 2 of their timeouts. So if you try to run it here, regardless, you're going to give Washington an opportunity to get the football back.
Going to be interesting to see if Coach Whitten takes a timeout if assuming Pine Forest doesn't convert here. It's third down at about 30.
I think you take the timeout and then you bring the punt block and see if you can get a block and maybe a quick score here before going into half.
Well, we're going to have a timeout before any of that occurs, so we're not going to see a timeout after, or maybe we will, but instead we get one even before the snap. And both teams head over to the sidelines. So, Jeff, next week, we're going back to Santa Rosa County. We were there the first week, but haven't been there in a few. So we're cruising over to Santa Rosa, and we've got a good one, Fort Walton at Navarre, right?
Fort Walton Beach and Navarre, and this is a much improved Fort Walton Beach team, by the way. Obviously, they had some COVID concerns this week as Niceville had some in their game. It was supposed to be against Navarre. But to tell you what, we always have a blast when we go over to Navarre. They always take care of us over there. It's always a good football game, great atmosphere. And I tell you what, against a big rival in Fort Walton Beach, I expect the same.
No doubt. Nothing wrong with hanging in South Santa Rosa County on a late October night. Looking forward to it. It really is beautiful over there, and as you said, they're extremely generous. They even feed the crew every time we go, which
Fried
is so
Oreos.
Nice. Fried Oreos. Here we go. Little throw over the middle.
Little screen pass
Trying
right
to
there.
hustle out of bounds, and he's going to get out of bounds. Why not? So Gavin Grice showing off his speed. It's certainly no conversion. Remember, it was third down at about 30. He gets about 20 of it. That's going to make it 4th and 10.
Yeah, great play call, great blocking out front right there, and a great job by Mr. Grice to get out of bounds.
Yeah, he
and
was
now,
hustling.
Look, I believe Pine Forest is going to punt the football. It's a good choice, but I tell you what, makes it much easier as you gain some very important field position.
Yeah, it does help in that regard, but Dakota Weaver is back on for the punt. You know, the Wildcats may just bring the house here and try to get the block. Their best shot at maybe a late half field goal would be a block to flip the field a little bit.
Well, I think here you better be careful of a fake just because you're just on that side. Now, if they had the ball back at the 30, it's a little bit different story.
Hold on. We got a flag, or not a flag, but a whistle.
Prior to the snap, delay of game on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
All right, so not a huge costly penalty there. They were punting anyway. It's going to be 4th and 15 instead of 4th and 10.
Yeah, for Pine Forest, make sure you block up front here. Go ahead and get down there. Look, nobody is back for Washington. They are worried about the fake. They are worried about trying to maybe get a block.
Oh, a high snap. Weaver's able to field it. That was near trouble.
Good kick. Let
Yeah.
it roll.
Yeah. Let the clock roll.
Don't touch it.
Yeah, just until the whistle blows, just let it go.
There you go.
Gets down to 10 seconds, 10.6 officially. And if we have a shot at a replay there, I'm going to tell you right now, Dakota Weaver, the most heroic thing he's done tonight is catch that snap, because that thing was over his head. He looked like an outfielder trying to catch a fly ball.
Yeah, and you wonder if Washington would have brought some pressure. This could have been ugly in a hurry,
Yeah.
but nonetheless, great job catching it. He realizes nobody's in his face, takes his time, gets off a good punt.
Yep. So the Wildcats here with 10 seconds. Jeff, I'm assuming they're not going to try and do anything, but I guess you never know. What do you think?
I've seen crazier things, but I tell you what, if it was me, I would not. I would just go ahead and run the clock out and let's go into halftime and be happy with a 14-0 lead. Now, remember, Pine Forest gets the ball to start the half, so let's get right on defense.
We'll find out right now. And sure enough, they're going to back it up, down it, and I think that is
That's all she
that
wrote.
will do for the first half here as the clock ticks down 3, 2, 1, and that's that. So the Wildcats are able to score a couple of touchdowns in the second quarter. It was 0-0 after the first, but Washington has a very good second quarter. They take the lead 14-0, and with any luck, we're going to get a chance to talk to Coach Whitten here just before he gets up with his team. It's always great to hear what the coach on the leading side has to say as he heads into to talk to his team here on the road. And remember, this is just a unique situation because it was a week ago tonight when these two teams played, and Pine Forest won 14-6. So Washington's more than doubled their offensive output tonight. Last week they only come away with 6, and now at half they've got 14. So Coach Whitten probably feeling pretty good about that, but I'm sure he has plenty, Jeff, that he wants to talk to his team about as well.
Yeah, and I tell you what, he's got to be excited coming up 14-0 so far. And the offense, it hasn't looked great, but I tell you what, special teams has played a great role. The defense is playing lights out right now. And just they've taken advantage of opportunities. Like I said, anytime that there was turnovers, they got the opportunity. They made the best of it. And you know what? I know there's some things they want to work on, but you can't be upset.
And I can see Coach Whitten making his way over here to the crew. So we're going to get a chance to talk to him here in just a second. He's literally putting on the headphones right now. Hey, Coach Whitten, can you hear me?
I got you.
Hey, how are you, sir? Christian Garman here up in the booth. I won't take much of your time here. First question. So last week you played these guys, have an incredible game. You end up losing a close one, 14-6, driving. Tonight you've already got 14 points, so more than doubled your output. Got to be feeling pretty good about your offense right now.
Yeah, we're doing a lot better job of running the ball. We really challenged our offensive line. Last week we had -2 yards rushing versus these guys, so put a lot of emphasis this week in practice on being able to run the ball, and we've been able to do that so far this first half.
And, Coach, I know you're so proud of your defense. We've talked about it in the past. Tonight, facing a challenge because Pine Forest has 2 quarterbacks, Dalton Biggs and T.J. Wilson, and they're mixing it up. Does that present specific special challenges for your defense?
Well, they came out in that, that scrum offense. They hadn't showed that before, so we had to make a little bit of adjustments to that. But when we get them behind the sticks, we get them back into their traditional offense, and we've been able to get to force some turnovers. So those guys are playing hard. Just got to continue doing that in the second half.
Well, Coach, thank you very much for taking a minute to talk to us. Go get him in the second half.
All right, appreciate it.
Coach Tommy Joe Whitten here as we're from the Friday Night Rivals Northwest Florida Sports booth and bringing you all the action, and glad to do it too. So as you can see, it is homecoming. Going to be a fun halftime here. We're going to take a quick break, but more to come, and stay with us. It's Friday Night Rivals. Right now, Washington 14, Pine Forest 0. We are live. As you can see, it's the Levin Papantonio halftime report. Glad to bring it to you every single week here on Friday Night Rivals. And aside from the action, aside from the football, one of my favorite things we do every week is bring you the Barrow Fine Furniture Community Spotlight. We usually try and talk to a principal, an athletic director, one of the leaders at each and every school. And we're going to do that right now with athletic director here at Pine Forest. This is Coach Artie Davis. Hey, Coach, how are you, sir?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing very well. Just wanted to take a minute to say thank you for letting us come tonight. It really is our pleasure every week to get to do this. And I know that obviously this year more than ever before, there are special circumstances, there are significant new challenges, but we've been so impressed every week because these games are going off, and so far it's gone real well, and I know you're proud of all your people bringing it together.
Yeah, it's been exciting. We're up to 50% in our capacity, so we're hoping that we can eventually get to 100% because our new coach here and the kids are excited. We've got a new cheer coach, and she's doing a really good job. So at Pine Forest, it's a really exciting time.
I know it is, and I did not realize you guys were up to 50%, so certainly that's good news. More good news here as we just look out on the field. It's homecoming. It's another special night, and again, I'm sure, Coach, that there were times this summer and maybe even more recently than that you weren't sure that any of these sorts of things could happen this year because of the challenges. It's got to make you so proud to see it all happening and coming together.
Yeah, we were really worried just about even having the season. Last year at the end of the season when it all started, I guess about March, our baseball team was, one of the teams that was expected to win a state championship. We had a pitcher that went in the third round, and he's with I can't even remember, the Rangers. That's who he's with. TK. Do y'all know TK? His dad teaches at our school.
Roby,
TK Roby, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I can't remember names. I'm getting old.
Oh, let me tell you what. That's not about age because it happens to me all the time. I'm constantly scrambling here to find a name on a piece of paper. Well, listen, I know you're proud, and thank you so much. Obviously, a busy night here as you guys are hosting the home game, but we appreciate you taking a couple of minutes for us.
Well,
Coach.
we just appreciate y'all coming out and doing this for us.
Yes, sir. Well, it truly is our pleasure. This is Athletic Director, Coach Artie Davis here at Pine Forest. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So that, of course, was the Barrow Fine Furniture Community Spotlight on the Levin Papantonio halftime show. It's homecoming on a truly gorgeous night here in Northwest Florida. Coming up, we're going to bring you some highlights and a whole lot more here at halftime.
You're watching Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Friday Night Rivals, presented by Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
14 carries there for 88 yards.
That's his season number. He came into the game with 80 yards. Here he goes. To Scott. That'll do it. Touchdown on the ground. B.A.
Step into the pocket. Bartlett hit from behind. Ben Price, the senior.
Martinson, pump fakes. Going for Johnson. Ball tipped. Johnson makes the catch inside the 25.
33-yard line. Some pressure, and that ball is blocked. 3 blue jerseys trying to get it, and that ball is in the end zone, and it is a Newberry touchdown. Some pressure.
The 6'4" flank.
Oh no. Oh, and look at this. Right into the hands. Oh, wow. What a play. Touchdown, Escambia.
He went outside the half ends. He went inside where he knew he could split the defenders. Watch this.
And give credit to that quarterback for getting it off. Look at this guy. He just great tackle.
Still a minute to play, though. Dart being chased. Yes. Throw that high, and what a catch. Hillstead looking. Hillstead will run, and Hillstead is brought down, and that's it.
That's it.
The game is over, and the streak continues for Corner Canyon. 35 wins in a row.
I think being able to showcase these games on Friday nights to the community will help tie the community together a little more, especially with the times that we're going through right now. Being able to have these programs streamed on TV and online will help keep the community feel like they're a part of something and help them feel like they're not missing out if they can't make it to a game.
You're watching Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Friday Night Rivals, presented by Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
We are back live. It's Friday Night Rivals, of course. The halftime report continues. Halftime brought to you by Levin Papantonio, as you can see. And here's something cool that we definitely wanted you to know about. If you are a fan of Friday Night Rivals, if you have watched this in previous years, you know that something we always have done is featured a very special athlete, a superstar, both on the field and in the classroom with our A-plus scholar athletes. So far, we haven't done that this year because, again, there were so many things up in the air. It was kind of hard to pull everything together. But Gulfside Landscaping was like, we want to be part of this. We want to jump in, and we're going to sponsor the the scholar athlete. So that's really cool. But I do want to give you this heads up because normally right now is when you'd be seeing that. So instead, the way we're going to do it is we have this, including this game, we have 4 more games, and we will be culminating or putting together different scholar athletes. Our last game of the season is right back here, as a matter of fact, coincidentally, at Pine Forest. And at that time, we'll feature all of the A-plus athletes for Escambia County. And again, that's brought to you by Gulfside Landscaping. Jeff, isn't that cool? I mean, they were just like, no, this is a big deal. This is part of it. This needs to be included. And we're just really appreciative.
Yeah, absolutely. And I tell you what, they've got a pretty darn cool website as well. If you go to gulfsidelandscaping.com, you can contact them. Let them know James Martin doing a great job over there. They can do everything from custom landscape design, enduring elements of contrast and texture with stone. Hey, we all know that stone feature looks really good. Light, creating obviously shaded retreats, anything and everything, and even some thoughtful irrigation and some drainage. They can do it all for you. And I tell you what, check out their website once again at gulfsidelandscaping.com. You will not be disappointed.
Well, I'm very glad to have them on board here. So when we come back, well, gosh, the clock is under 2. Things are going to start rolling here. Stay with us. It's Friday Night Rivals. Halftime continues.
You're watching Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Friday Night Rivals, presented by Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
We're live. We're back. A look at the halftime stats here. You can see Washington nearly 100 yards on the ground. Pine Forest just 33. Passing low on both sides, Jeff. Neither one more than 35 yards. Total yards 128. So Washington more than doubling up Pine Forest, and that makes a lot of sense since they're winning 14-0.
Yeah, Pine Forest got a lot of those passing yards for that last drive. Just dinking and dunking down the field. And nonetheless, though, Washington's done what they needed to do. You see the 2 turnovers. Washington is capitalizing those turnovers. A big special teams play and then a fumble on offense for Pine Forest. And it's turned into 14 points for the Wildcats. So, hey, so far so good. You can't be upset. Obviously, they want to play a little bit better. But defensively, offensively, they've been doing pretty much everything they need to.
So going back to before the game, it was Washington that won the toss and deferred.
Pine Forest won the toss.
I knew I was looking at you because I was like, I know this isn't right. As I was saying it, I could tell I knew I was wrong. I was like, Jeff, could you see my eyes? Were my eyes saying, save me? Save me.
Well, maybe that is correct. I thought they deferred. Maybe they didn't. Christian, I think you were right. Never
just
mind.
in. Christian was right. Doesn't happen often, but it looks like it may have happened here. So Washington, who is leading 14-0, has yet to take the field. I think they just want to wait and see if they can have this thing in. But nope, they're actually going to come out and play as they lead 14-0. They will receive the kick, so they've got a chance to build on a little momentum, Jeff. And I'll tell you, Pine Forest, that defense is going to have to come out big early because they don't want to give up any more points.
And I tell you what, the defense has played pretty darn good. It's unfortunate the offense did not help them out on that fumble by the quarterback. Deep in their own territory there, and then you look at the special teams play, the punt that Pine Forest muffed right there, and then Washington jumps on it. So 2 times Washington's had short field. They have not allowed Washington to drive the entire length of the field. So you know what? They've done well, but they're down 14-0, so none of that matters.
And that's going to be Aiden Freeman.
Well, a lot of room to run out here.
Sure is, and look how fast he is, too. Wow. Huge return out to the 42-yard line. That's well done here again. That was Aiden Freeman, the junior.
Well, interested to see what happens. And, first off, how does this defense respond for Pine Forest? Obviously, this is the biggest, believe it or not, the biggest deficit all year for this defense.
Is that right?
Remember, they lost the game to Catholic 12-7. They won the game last week 14-6. So this is a very talented and a very speedy Washington team. Interested to see how the secondary performs here in the second half.
Amiel Steele, the quarterback for the Wildcats, as the drive will start at the 43. And that's going to be Miles Murphy on a nice big hole in a 1st and 10 from long and long. Miles Murphy's had a very big night, and he starts this half off nicely.
Yeah, a lot of Miles Murphy's yards here. His all-purpose yards has been catching the football out of the backfield. You see him running it. Great job by the Big Buffet Busters up front, opening a little gap there on that big defensive line for Pine Forest. Not easy to do.
Wildcats cross midfield now to the 48-yard line of the Eagles. Still going to throw it deep.
Boy, talk about deep.
But pass comes up a little bit short here, as you can see Aiden Freeman, who had the big return off the kickoff moments ago, outran the pass. Jeff ends up coming up 3 or 4 yards short of where he was.
He outran it. That's not too many times till we see that you outrun the pass, but it is what it is at this point. We're up here in the Northwest Florida State College sports booth. See some of the scores down there. Boy, Baker just taking it to Rocky Bayou. How about that? Choctaw in West Florida.
Northview 35-28 in a great game there.
Like that score.
Yeah, I know you do. That's a fun one to watch. Second down here, Steele again. And there's Miles Murphy, as you said, coming out of the backfield. He's very effective, and that'll move the chains from long and long. It's another first down, and the Wildcats are on the move.
Yeah, Rasheed Lovelace right there following the play, making the tackle, saving what would have been an even bigger play. But this Washington team, this is, once again, coming out hot after halftime.
Yep.
They came out a little sluggish to start the game, obviously, until they got that turnover. But tell you what, so far so good for the Washington Wildcat offense.
Yep, down to the 36-yard line now. PA announcer disagrees, calls it the 37.
Well, you're right, though, right?
I think so. Steele tries to keep it himself, nothing doing. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. I don't think he picked up anything.
Yeah, and a great job by the defensive line of Pine Forest, stuffing it and slowing this offense down. It's a first time they've had, I guess I wouldn't call it negative yards, but no positive yards right there. So this is still a really good Pine Forest defense. That 14 points is not really on them at this point.
Second and 10. This time Murphy out wide. Way here, all the way on the near side. Right over the middle there. Caught. Picked up maybe 2 or 3 again. That's Freeman.
Yeah, you see right there, Rasheed Lovelace, number 55. The young man came into the game with 3 sacks. About 3, I think he's about 6'3", 6'2", 300 pounds. You see 310. I would trust that right there. That is a big human being. And I tell you what, that's another young man, by the way, that's already got offers from UAB and Vanderbilt. Very smart kid as well. So you know what? That's hats off to him.
Steele throws over the middle, but throws it way too high, incomplete. That'll make it 4th down, and that's where the drive may stall, though in kind of no man's land here. Wildcats may go for it, Jeff. Nope, looks like they're going to bring on the punting field.
Yeah, and that's a throw right there that I think Steele would like to have back. And once again, once he gets a little bit older, he misses high, and that's typically, that's typical when you're a little bit younger of a quarterback. Live arm. We know arm strength is not his problem, and you'd like to see him throw that ball a little more on the line and hit Eric Smith Jr., who settled down in an open spot.
So after a nice kickoff return and a bit of a drive from the Wildcats, things do stall out on 4th and 7. They are going to punt. A little bit of a pooch this close to the goal line, and that's really well done, but it takes a bounce. Wow. Takes a huge bounce for the Wildcats and all the way down to about the 2 or 3 yard line. So a tall order for Pine Forest as they start this drive deep in their own territory. That worked out real well for Washington.
Yeah, remember Coach Whitten was talking about that little flex bone scrum offense that they ran in the first half was not something that was new to them. They didn't see it last week. So that tell you what, it's going to be tough if you're going to continue to run that when you're down 2 scores like this. So interesting to see what type of offense do we have at Pine Forest coming out here.
Well, in the first quarter, they were switching quarterbacks about every play between Dalton Biggs and T.J. Wilson. In the second quarter, they ended up going more to Biggs, who does seem more comfortable throwing, and in the position they're in now, down 14, they may stick with Biggs a little bit more. He's got it here, though they are going to run it. And he picked up a yard or 2, but no more, I'd say.
Yeah, Grice on the carry right there, and that's look, once again they're going out and they're spreading going a spread offense. They're not going to looks like they're going to get rid of that flex bone scrum, whatever you want to call it. I called it a wing tee. We've called it everything tonight. But once again, Dalton Biggs he's a passer. He's got a big time arm. He's got some athletes out there. They're going to try to make up a score here pretty quick.
Second down and 8. Another run up the middle. Picks up to another 2 or 3, so it will be 3rd down and about 4 or 5. That's Grice again.
Yeah, very manageable 3rd down here, and you make it, look, we've seen that once again Pine Forest can throw the football. And look, now that they're against the grain a little bit, and they're going to have to throw, probably it looks like for the rest of this game, I'm ready to see this offense. This is going to be a new look offense here in the second half.
Dakota Weaver, the punter for Pine Forest, has already started making his way down that side on the sidelines. See if he's not going to be needed. Oh, he's going to be needed.
There it is.
That's good. Oh, hold up.
Oh, man.
Woo, boy. Biggs did his best. He was staring at a sack and a loss of about 6 or 7. Somehow escaped, but you'll see here on the Peden replay, not able to get the first down.
And I tell you what, if he can keep his feet, he may end up finding a first down.
It's a great effort. But it's going to be 4th down. It's going to be a loss, and it's going to be a punt. And turnover on, not a turnover down, it's a punt here for Pine Forest, but a stop for the Wildcats, what I'm trying to say. So Weaver will be punting from his own end zone. Not a super comfortable place to be, and Aiden Freeman will stand back at about midfield to receive.
Good punt.
Freeman going to try and play the hop. He does nicely. Quite the speedster, and it's another big return. He may go all the way, folks.
We got a flag, though.
We sure do. Freeman gets it down to about the 5-yard line. There's a flag at about the 32. Frequently on a play like this, it's a block in the back, but let's not make assumptions. Let's see what the call is.
And it looks like, I believe, Santonio Coleman standing right there about the 30, and he had his hands on his hips. I think he may know what this flag is about.
Let's see what the officials have to say.
Freeman's going to be bummed that this is coming back.
Looks like it will.
During the kick, block in the back on the return team. 10-yard penalty from the spot at the end of the kick. First down, Pine Forest.
So the Eagles catch the break on the block in the back, and instead of 1st and goal from the 5, this sucker's coming all the way back to near midfield.
Yep, and right, it's where the kick was fielded, and that was about right there at the 49. So you're going to see it about the 39, and that's unfortunate. That was a big play, but I tell you what, a big break for Pine Forest.
No doubt. So back at the 39-yard line, and what a difference that makes. Again, they were going to have 1st and goal from about the 4. That doesn't mean anything, and that is what Pine Forest needed. Because with this clock moving at 7:43 here, and the offense so far not able to do a whole lot, they don't need to give up easy points, and that was going to be a real good spot for Washington. But instead, they start at the 39, and here we go.
10 Wildcats.
Ooh,
beautiful
timing play there, and well done. And that's going to be a big gain. Looks like a first down. That's number 19 for Washington.
DeAndre Smiley. Hadn't called his name tonight.
No.
And, he's been an intricate part of this offense, as once again, as the majority of this roster is when you go down the list here. But nonetheless, great little pass play right there. And that is a pass, as it's a forward pass. That's the one play. Remember, everybody used to throw it behind. The quarterback used to toss it behind him. Now that's the hot new thing. You toss it in front in case he fumbles it. Guess what? It's an incomplete pass.
It's all timing there. It was well done. A long first down across midfield. This is going to be a handoff up the middle. Not able to get a whole lot out of it. Was that Miles Murphy on the carry? I'm not sure. Didn't see the number.
Did not get that. Yep, that'll be Miles Murphy. And you see a little counter. You got speed sweep to one direction, then you counter back with the running back right there in the shotgun formation with you, and not a whole lot doing, but you know what? Positive yards nonetheless. And Washington will go 5 wide here, empty backfield.
2nd down and 9 now. Steele throws it out wide. Ooh, boy. Could have been picked. That was Freeman, the intended receiver. Jeff, I couldn't tell if that ball was out a little wide or maybe he should have brought it in. Maybe we'll find out here if we're able to get you a Peden replay.
I think Datavius Grandison right there, number 17, playing that out route perfectly. And that ball, if he throws it any more inside, I believe Grandison's the big old boy or big old linebacker right there is probably running the other way with it.
Gotcha. So 3rd down and 9, and a big moment for the Pine Forest defense. They really need this stop. Steele has a hard time with the snap. He's able to control it. Finds Eric Smith, but it will not be a first down. And the Eagles get the stop they need as the clock continues to roll here midway through the 3rd quarter, rather. It's going to be 4th and about 5.
Eric Smith Jr., he's trying to get first down yardage right there on 3rd and long, and you see him fighting, and he even got a Pine Forest player to take out his own man there.
So the Wildcats will be punting. And there you can see Douglas Benjamin back to get a return for Pine Forest. Good looking punt. Benjamin will field it. And he does have a nice little return before he's stuck at about the 26 or 27-yard line. First time we said his name tonight, nothing wrong with that play. So the Pine Forest offense comes back on the field as we have a water break with 5:45 to go. That means we too will take a commercial break here on Friday Night Rivals. As you can plainly see, 14-0 Washington.
You're watching Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Friday Night Rivals, presented by Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
As you heard during our community spotlight at the half, up to 50% capacity, and there are a few fans tonight. And isn't that something? You see hoodies and you see jackets. It's a cool night, no doubt about it, as Pine Forest takes over here, and a fine play from scrimmage. And that, let's see if we get a flag here. We don't. I thought there was a chance we'd see a late hit, but we do not. Nonetheless, it's long and long first down for Pine Forest here. Let's take a look at the replay.
Yeah, you look at another quarterback change. T.J. Wilson right there, quarterback, tosses it out. And for the young man, Mr. Joseph Garrett.
A.K.A. JoJo.
Good old JoJo.
Yeah, he's had a big night, and that's a big play.
Well, JoJo's pretty darn quick, too, running down the sideline.
Yeah.
But he took a big blow, but nonetheless, a first down yardage right there.
Yep.
Long and long, 1st and 10.
So 41-yard line here. JoJo going the other way here. He is quite the speedster. Not going to be able to do much with it there, though. Got about a yard. So 2nd down now and 9. Had a ton of success coming this way. The Tank making the tackle there, as you can see.
Yeah, Mr. Tabian Tank Dale, and we saw him, look, he got ran over early on in the game. He ain't having none of that anymore. No. This young man can play sideline to sideline. Great pass coverage as well, and he can do it all at linebacker.
So maybe a yard at the most. It's 2nd down now. Yeah, it looks like about a yard. 2nd down and 9.
Well, they weren't going to move it until you said it.
Seriously, he didn't move. Right when I said that, he walked over. I was like, okay. I literally made the call. Can he hear me?
I think so.
T.J. Wilson running quarterback here. Hands it off, and again, it's a pickup of a couple, so it's going to be 3rd down and about 6, it looks like.
Like I said, we've seen a change at quarterback. Dalton Biggs is out. T.J. Wilson is in. So interested to see if they're going to throw the football with Mr. Wilson in there.
And if you are just joining us, that doesn't necessarily mean Biggs has been benched, because this is the MO for this offense. They switch quarterbacks like crazy. The first quarter was literally every offensive play. Then Biggs seemed to take over the 2nd quarter. And now Wilson getting some time here in the 3rd. Speaking of 3rd, it's 3rd down at about 6 or 7. Wilson's going to try and run with it, but he's not going to get anywhere near that 1st down. Another big stop for the Wildcats, and it'll be 4th down and still about 6 or 7 here.
Yeah, a host of Wildcats, including Tabian Dale right there, the linebacker. You see him right there. That's what this defense does well. They all swarm to the football. Jordan Lowry is another one. Then you jump in, and even Mr. Keyshawn Crenshaw jumping in. This is a defense that will swarm to the football. They'll use their speed and athleticism. And for Mr. T.J. Wilson right there, you're not going to get away from those cats.
Dakota Weaver back on to punt. He's done that a lot tonight. And Aiden Freeman back to receive.
There's the fake.
It's another fake. And that's the 2nd time tonight the Eagles have called a fake punt. The first time it was successful, but there was a penalty on the play. So it got called back. They ended up really punting. They do it again this time, but nothing doing. And the Wildcats will take over with much better field position than perhaps they were expecting, Jeff, because they're going to get it at the Pine Forest 47. And I guess Coach Douglas thinking, we got to do something here. The offense just didn't get it done.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It worked the very first time they did it. Like you said, it got called back. Here, you're not really going to surprise Washington anymore. You usually get one opportunity to do that, but tell you what, Pine Forest is going to have to throw the football, so I would expect to see Dalton Biggs back in the football game when we come back.
So 1st and 10 now. And there again. What do we call that, Jeff? What is that little sweep situation called? A pitch sweep. My Jack Canneman, our director, says. Do you agree, Jeff? Or do you have some sort of a nifty, fun name for it?
I mean, there's a million different names for it. You go pitch sweep, speed sweep, jet sweep. I mean, sweep. Sweep.
Oh, let's just go sweep. Can we make it easy?
The Swiffer sweeper there, that's what we can call that? The old Swiffer sweeper?
Was DeAndre Smiley, who caught the sweep, picked up about 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 now.
The old mop play.
Here comes Miles Murphy, who's fighting and may have gotten the first down. It's going to be close. Looks like he did. Those chains will move. Long and long, 1st and 10. You know, now he's not moving. I mean, the chains people literally started walking, and so I make the call, and then they just stop. I swear, I think they hear me.
They can hear you, yes.
I think they can. So instead, it's 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1, right at the 40, 39-yard line.
They should have ran the old mop play, and they had a first down.
That's what I'm saying. Eric Smith out wide here. You know what? I'm calling it. They're throwing to the end zone. I'm calling it. No, I'm dead wrong. Instead, that's
still got your first down.
Coleman, who's had a good night, and Coleman.
Did he get his first down?
It's very close. I mean, we're talking an inch. They currently have it as though he's just short. We'll see the.
I don't think you can say. See, if you say, it's going to be the opposite.
Right. They're gonna, yeah.
It's like they're going to measure right here.
And it looks like before anything else,
it's very close. Yeah, we'll say that much.
They've yet to make the call. We'll see.
I want you to make it. Did he get it?
I think he got it. I'm calling it.
All right.
I'm saying it right now. Long and long first down.
Confidence.
Yeah.
Confidence.
Why not? If I'm wrong, does it matter?
No,
I guarantee you the folks at long and long are happy. We said long and long either way. So
yeah,
it's
long
all good.
and long. There you go.
Look at this. And oh, by the way, it's a first down and 10 from long and long.
Nobody is more happy to say long and long than Mr. Christian Garmin.
I mean, has there ever been a closer first down?
I don't think so.
A millimeter.
Was it in the NFL a couple years ago where the referee pulls out it's like a credit card and puts it in between the ball and the sticks?
I don't remember that. Yes. Wow. All right, all kidding aside, it is a first
territory.
down.
Yes, that's a good call back there in the truck. That is the man that did that. I thought I've seen it all when I saw that day.
1st and 10. Another handoff, and Miles Murphy just having a terrific game, and that's a huge run down to about the 16-yard line. Big-time play, and there's no doubt about that one. That's a long and long first down here with about a minute to go in the 3rd quarter. We have a Wildcat on the field, but he's up and he's okay.
I tell you what, Mr. Miles Murphy, if he quit trying to run over everybody, he may be in the end zone right now. Look at him.
What a night he's having.
Man, oh, man. He is, I tell you what, the couple weeks ago we had him against Escambia. It wasn't really one of the guys, one of the factors. Tonight, he is definitely a factor in this offense.
Yeah, he's looking really good, and it's a long and long first down. It's 1st and 10, down to the 26-yard line for the Wildcats as the clock is ticking under a minute to go here in the 3rd quarter. And right now, if you're a Wildcat fan, you got to be real happy about how things are shaping up. Ooh, boy, did I jinx the
I was about to say, who are we, Booker T? I know that's one of their call signs there, and yeah, I'm going to blame that one on you.
The low snap, Amiel Steele able to fall on it. Lucky it wasn't a turnover, but it is a big loss now back at the 36-yard line. So that's a loss of about 10 and a break for the Eagles, too.
But with the big chunk yardage the Wildcats have been able to get tonight, this is not anything that they're not used to.
No.
They can get these yard back in, in one play right here. They've got the weapons.
Steele's going to try and do just that. He's in a little bit of trouble. He ends up completing the pass. That's Freeman again and caught down at about the 24-yard line. So it won't be a first down. In fact, it'll be 3rd and long, but it's manageable. 3rd down and about 8, it looks like here.
ERP and heating and air conditioning, instant replay. Great job throwing to a spot. And sits down. Aiden sits down in that spot. And, hey, you know what? It's going to bring up a manageable 3rd down here.
It's also going to bring up the end of the 3rd quarter. 3rd down and about 8 when we get back. Friday Night Rivals, the final quarter on the other side.
You're watching Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Friday Night Rivals, presented by Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
We're back. It's 3rd and 8 from the 24-yard line here as the Wildcats trying to keep things cruising. Oh, we got all kinds of movement here.
Yes, we do. Bunch of Wildcats moving.
Full start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
So instead of 3rd and 8, it'll be 3rd and, what, 13?
There you go.
Got it right finally.
From our proud sponsor, math.com.
So back now at the 29-yard line. The first down comes down at the 16. Remember that it was 2nd and about 25. So the Wildcats, hold on, we got another whistle. And Steele showing some frustration. We had hit to call a timeout before we had a single play in the half.
I think they had
quarter, rather.
I think they reset the play clock. I believe that's what that was.
Referee raising the roof there. Not
He's
sure
just
what
raising the roof.
No, what signal?
Raising the roof on the play.
All right, 3rd down and 13. Steele going to throw to the end zone. No, he's not. He's going to throw over the top and a little over. Just out through his man. That's Eric Smith. Oh, rather, I'm sorry, that was Miles Murphy, the intended receiver. And I did see a guy breaking the end zone wide open. I thought that Steele was going to go for him, but instead went to the hot-handed Miles Murphy and just overthrew him.
Just a little too much there, about a yard. But no harm, no foul. I know they'd like to have that one back, but here in no man's land, looks like Washington is going to go for it.
Yeah, and it is not an ideal spot to go because it's 4th down and 13. But like you said, at the 34-yard line, it would be a 51-yard field goal. Not comfortable with that, nor do they want to punt. They say, let's just go for it. And we may have some movement here, but...
Ooh, he didn't cross, though.
No.
He did not get his encroachment.
No.
And looks like Washington will take a timeout.
Wow. A bit confusing here. Just 9 seconds into the quarter, and Coach Whidden not super pumped, but nonetheless, his team does call a timeout, and it's going to be 4th and long here. The Wildcats are winning 14-0, but they do want to talk about it. And Jeff, I'm with you. I'll be surprised if they change the decision because, again, at the location they're sitting, the 29, it just makes sense.
Well, and the fact that the defense for Washington is playing lights out as well. The offense for Pine Forest can't seem to get it going. And what's the Pine Forest identity right now? We saw them with a different offense in the first half. You heard Coach Whidden talk about it's something he didn't see last week, so we know they tried to mix it up a little bit and maybe find a spark. Well, it hasn't worked so far. So I think you go ahead and punt the football away, get some good field position for your defense. Let them go out there and eat. I mean, they've been eating all night long. And you know what? Pine Forest has to score twice in a quarter. And I tell you what, at this point, they haven't been able to put the ball in the end zone once. So once again, put the trust in your defense. Let's go out and let's go win a football game.
Well, you know, you said they haven't put the ball in the end zone yet. It's really been more than that. They've hardly had an impressive, sustainable drive, you know. So it's been a long night for the Eagle offense, but Coach Whidden is so proud of his defense. Right now, they're going for it. And it is completed.
Right there.
That's Freeman on the catch. He's right at about the first down marker. We'll see if they convert it here from Pensacola State College. They did convert, folks.
The Peden Heating and Air Conditioning instant replay, and what a beautiful throw.
Perfect throw.
Pitch and catch. Make sure you go down and secure it. And you know what? Forget the punt. What are you thinking? What was I thinking on that?
I'll
punt
never
and let
know.
your defense play. That's not a good call. Hey, you know what? That's a great play call right there for the offense.
So the Wildcats do convert on 4th down from Pensacola State College. It's a 1st and 10 now in the red zone at the 15-yard line. Here's Coleman. Has some room.
Boy, that was a
nice
shifty
spin move
move.
and down to the 1. You know, he says he never touched the ground. Either way, it's going to be down at about the 1 or 2, but I think he's saying, man, I just kept getting hit and it kept me up.
I tell you what, Santonio Coleman, been watching him for quite a few years now. He is so fun. He's always been a
Hurry
bit
up
of a
offense here. Let's
lightning
get
rod.
back live because they're going. Wildcats are trying to really catch him off guard here. And
Prior to the snap, timeout.
Pine Forest said nope, and they
thank
called
you.
the timeout because the Wildcats were really trying to get things cruising there. They are down at about the 2-yard line. So
Once again, Santonio Coleman, let's see if we can get that replay up, because I tell you what, that was a great job by him, trying to keep his feet, spinning off a tackler there, almost getting in the end zone.
Yeah, he made the case that he
did. A bit of a lightning rod right here. Watch this. Oh, put a move on the man. tripped basically his own self was
Look,
taking
he
him down.
didn't. That is a touchdown. He did not. That is a touchdown. His knees never hit. And he's right. He's got a heck of a case. Too bad there's not replay. That's incredible.
Oh, man, I agree.
Yeah, it's a clear touchdown. Wow.
Man.
How about that? That's incredible. I feel bad for him now.
All for naught, though. In high school, obviously, we don't have instant replay. Well, we have it up here in the booth. That's why.
Pete says, yes, we do.
Yes. Pete doing a great job. We appreciate them as a sponsor as well with the
Watch this.
Instant replay.
Great move
spin.
Here.
Let's check it. Check the knee.
Not down, not down. Watch this.
It's the elbow, I believe.
Oh, did his elbow go down?
The elbow is down, so there you go.
I missed it. Oh, man, I didn't want to know that. I really liked it.
See, thanks to Pete and Heating and Air Conditioning, give us the instant replay right there, and our great camera crew out there, always doing a great job. So we know.
From Pensacola State College, it's another first, but it's not a 1st and 10. Instead, it's a 1st and goal.
And they're going to go with the Wildcat with Coleman in the back.
Here's Coleman, who's hot. And not able to score.
Not
Boy, Jeff, never heard you so disappointed.
Oh man, Keyshawn Brown, he's hot right now. That was quite the tackle on Mr. Coleman.
All kidding aside here, if Pine Forest wants any shot to get back in this game, they do have to come up with something big right now. They don't even want to get up 3, much less a touchdown.
Got to keep it at 2 scores.
Looks like Coleman once again is going to take it, and this time he will score untouched from a sin performance. That is another touchdown. I don't think he got touched on the play, Jeff.
Nope, I don't think so either. And once again, just a great play call. Let your big boys get out front, do some blocking for you. And for Pine Forest, just running out of gas here. And unfortunate because the defense has played their hearts out. But you see right here in the Wildcat formation from the Wildcats. Off tackle, and he is in, untouched.
So Bucko on now for the extra point. He's made a couple of them already, looking to put the Wildcats up 3 touchdowns. And Jeff, I would not be afraid to call it if they go up. Well, at this point, it's 20. I think it's all she wrote tonight for Pine Forest. That's going to be low. It hits the underbar. It is not converted, so the score will stay at 20-0. We will not stay, however. We're going to take a commercial break. It's Friday Night Rivals. Stay with us.
You're watching Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Friday Night Rivals, presented by Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Who dat got them po' boys?
Oh, my
NOLA
goodness.
style. No surprise to see a line there. I could go for one of those. The band is queued up, and they're wearing their jackets. It is a bit of a cool night, no doubt about it. It feels incredible. Clear skies, a nice little breeze coming in. We're live from Pine Forest. The Eagles are not having a good night, and you know that's a disappointment here for the home crowd. But for Washington, who lost to Pine Forest, let's see, the last time they played, Jeff, was when?
Ooh, I'd have to go back to last week.
All the way back to a week ago tonight, and Pine Forest won that one. They have their work cut out to do it again tonight, though, but this is a nice little return, and looks like the Pine Forest drive will start at about the 36-yard line, and that was Douglas Benjamin on the return.
Oh, you're going to have to score and score quickly to keep yourself involved in this one. And looks like Dalton Biggs will come back out at quarterback. No surprise there.
Yeah, you know, Dalton Biggs, between the two, remember, Pine Forest does the 2-quarterback system with Biggs and T.J. Wilson. And they both gotten a lot of run tonight. But when it comes to passing, it does seem that seems to be more of Biggs's milieu. And with that in mind, 1st and 10, and he's going to be out here.
Biggs and that QB for the Eagles.
And sure enough, completes the pass to the speedster. That's JoJo Garrett. He's looked real good all night for the Pine Forest offense. He's been a bright spot for sure, Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely. Get it out to him in space. And the young man, not very big, but I tell you what, good luck trying to catch him as he's made some big plays down the sideline.
Yeah, he's looked real good. From Pensacola State College, that's a 1st and 10, and it just crosses midfield now at the 49-yard line on the Wildcat side. Biggs will stay in at QB, maybe for the remainder. He's in some trouble now, though. Does a good job throwing it away. Nearly picked off, but it worked out.
Yeah, it was a great pass. Obviously a rushing in the backfield there, and it looked like number 41, I believe, was Josh Dunnigan, linebacker, senior linebacker, coming in, applying the pressure. He's done that a couple times tonight, and nonetheless, Oh, I thought Biggs was coming out for a second. Thought they were making another quarterback exchange. But a great job by Biggs just to get rid of the football.
Well, and, we're talking a lot about Biggs and seemingly a little more comfortable throwing it. But Wilson's thrown it a couple times tonight, too. It's certainly not to imply he's not capable. He is. Biggs under more pressure, finds his man wide open.
A lot of room out there.
Yeah. So the pressure from Washington ends up leaving a man wide open. That's Gavin Grice, who's had his hands on the ball a few times. And again, Pensacola State College 1st and 10. Nice gain there from Pine Forest.
Yeah, looking like Washington just playing a little bit of a nice, easy zone coverage out there. Give them a little room, keep everything in front of you. But I tell you what, great play calling for Pine Forest, because when they do that, it's going to open up the screen play.
And up 21-0, you get the feeling Washington's perfectly fine with that clock just moving here in the 4th quarter. Over the middle and completed. A terrific pass and through triple coverage. That's number 14.
Digging guy right there. How about it? Going up with the guy draped all over his back. Great pass by Biggs. Even better reception right here. Watch this. Perfect
That's
accuracy.
Well done. So this is, at this moment in time, the best looking drive I think we've seen tonight from Pine Forest. As the clock at 9:15. They're trying to say this thing's not over yet, Garmin.
Oh, they're coming after you.
Well, that's okay. Biggs in some trouble here, and he's going to get tripped up for a huge loss. Ooh, and you hate to see that. He looks like he's in some pain.
Yep, that ankle. That is not a good look right there.
Yikes, no, that's no fun.
Jalen Lewis getting the sack right there. Boy, you hope he's all right. That is not good when you grab and he's in pain like that.
Yeah. He was under some real pressure here, as you'll see.
Trying to get away from the pressure. Jalen Lewis right there, number 7 on his back. Reaches out. Boom.
Hard to see.
Oh.
Gosh, hate that. Really hate that. We will take a quick break here and come back and hope he's okay. We'll give you an update. Stay with us. It's Friday Night Rivals. All right, we're back. So a couple of things to update you on. Most importantly, of course, is Biggs' condition. Here you can see him laying. He was carried off the field, clearly in some real pain and definitely injured. We'll hope that it's not too bad, but he was not able to walk off on his own. But also on the play, there was a defensive hold. So what was going to be a huge loss instead turns into a first down all the way down at the 10-yard line. So, Jeff, obviously losing your quarterback is terrible, but other than that, that was worked out well for Pine Forest because they do get the first down. And remember, they do have a second quarterback who plays as much in T.J. Wilson. He's back in now. Little option here. Got to stay at about the 10-yard line.
Yeah, T.J. Wilson, he's more of the runner. He can run some power football for you as well. Interested to see how they're going to play this. As Biggs, look, Wilson can throw the football too, but like we talked about, looks like he's limping a little bit too. But more of the runner. So look, this is going to be big for Pine Forest. This is going to change the offense up a little bit. And for Wilson, like you said, plays a lot of quarterback as well. But they have to score right here to stay in this ball game.
Second down at about a yard. Nifty little play there and
gone.
A lot of room. And look, you said they have to score. They're going to score. First touchdown of the night. That's Keyshawn Qualls for Pine Forest. And they are on the board from Ascend Performance Materials. We're bringing that touchdown.
Great little misdirection, counter play back the other direction. Great vision by Qualls to realize I can try to fight it up in here, or I can go ahead where there is some open green pastures outside, and he waltzes in for the touchdown.
Yeah, that's what, from here at this moment, it's like, forget about it. So 8:06 to go, and Pine Forest is on the board. Remember, they beat Washington a week ago. The kick is up. The kick is good. That's Weaver who converts. It's now 20-7. Stay with us. This just got interesting, folks.
You're watching Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Friday Night Rivals, presented by Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
We're back here with 8:06 to go in the game, and Pine Forest does score, makes the score 20-7. Earlier in the game, Washington missed an extra point, which is why it's not 21-7. So, Jeff, I was ready to say this thing's done just about 5 minutes ago. I still think, given what we've seen so far tonight from Pine Forest offense, that they're probably not going to pull this off. But you tell me, am I crazy? Are they back in this thing?
Well, a couple things. Yes, you are crazy, but that has nothing to do with this ball game. No.
no. Look at old Jeffrey Price bringing it home.
No, you know what? Here, I tend to err on the side with you here, and I know that's not typically what we do here, but for Pine Forest, Dalton Biggs is out now, so how is this offense? Remember, he threw the football down the field, and can TJ Wilson do that? I think he can, but for Washington, they still look. Pine Forest still has to get the ball back here, and Washington has not been able to be slowed down here, so. I just think, look, eat a little bit of clock if you're Washington and maybe get a couple big plays here and there, and then the ball game will be over.
And by the way, for the purposes of just an onside kick here, fielded nicely. Woo, that was not an easy play. That was a high hop right into his face. Yeah.
Really beautiful kick.
Good onside kick, but doesn't work out. That's Dakota Weaver, of course, kicking all night for Pine. Look at that play.
And then, bow, that's what you're going to get when you're on the hands team. But nonetheless, great job for the Booker T. Washington Wildcats to recover.
And I do, again, I want to say that I would love Pine Forest to keep coming back. You know what I mean?
We want good games.
Absolutely. So that would be just fine by us. And remember, you can't get much better than this game last week when these two teams played. Pine Forest won at 14-6, but Washington was driving. They got down to the 3-yard line as time expired. Pretty incredible ending last week. Trying to exact that revenge tonight, and in pretty good position to do it, as Amiel Steele will take over now for Washington. We've seen that play several times, and it's a big one here. That's going to be a huge run for DeAndre Smiley. The couple of times he's run that, Jeff, he's had big gains. It's a 1st and 10 from Pensacola State.
And he stays in bounds. I mean, that's check every box right there on what you needed to do, and you got it done. Look at him staying in bounds, keeping the clock moving, getting a first down, big yardage right there. And once again, the Wildcats are on the move. Stop me if you've heard that before.
So back at the 39-yard line here, it's the Wildcats coming down, up 20-7 on a perfect night in West Pensacola from Pine Forest High School. This time around, Miles Murphy gets the call, but doesn't get the yards. Might have lost a couple. Make it 2nd down and about 12, I think. But, Jeff, as you mentioned a moment ago, I mean, obviously Washington wants to move the ball. They'd love to score. But I think Coach Witten is just as interested in letting that clock tick.
Yeah, he'll take it at this point. Obviously, you see the clock under 7 minutes right now. And, look, you want to put the ball in the end zone. You want to continue that offense. And here, this is what makes Washington so tough. They're so versatile. They can throw the football down the field. They can run the football out of the backfield. They can do that speed sweep play. It's just, man, this has got to be a nightmare for that defense.
Steele wants to pass. He's going to throw it deep, and he's got his man wide open. Oh, what a great pass that was. And
Sir Reed Robinson. Sir Reed, how about it?
They forgot all about him, so it's going to be a huge play for the Wildcats. The last thing Pine Forest needed. It's another 1st and 10 from Pensacola State, but check that. It's not a 1st and 10. It's a 1st and goal down at the 8-yard line. Look how open he was.
But what a great job by the offensive line allowing Amiel to sit back there and just survey the field. An even better job by Amiel not to take off. He wants to throw the football. And I tell you what, this young man, we're watching him grow up a little bit here in the second half. Very impressed.
1st and goal. Murphy again gets the call. Gets hit at about the 6-yard line. Might have picked up a couple of yards. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 6. And the clock continues to move. And boy, Jeff, that may have been the dagger right there, that big play that got them down to the 1st and goal. Because, again, not only does it put the Wildcats in a good place to possibly score again, but it just means the clock's going to keep on rolling.
Yeah, it's this is exactly what the doctor ordered, and go ahead and finish the drive. And look,
more
another time
here
that the Pine Forest defense jumped off sides.
Yep.
Play is whistled dead, flag on the field.
Snap, encroachment on the defense, half the distance, 2nd down.
All right, so the encroachment call again.
We'll have a water break right here.
So they're going to have a chance to catch a little bit of water on a really nice night. Jeff, why don't you tell us, if you can whip out the phone, got any other scores here as we sit up in the Northwest Florida College State Sports booth?
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to like this one. Obviously, your alma mater, Pensacola Catholic, taking on the PHS Tigers right there in Pensacola. 14-0 Catholic in the 4th quarter. over PHS. How about this? What a ball game. We talk about how good Milton is. Right now, they're trailing in the fourth quarter 27-24 to Crestview. Now, Crestview's been dealing with some COVID issues. Good to see them back playing again. Escambia 34, Tate 7. Mosley, it looked like Gulf Breeze once again was looking for their first win tonight. They're not going to get it in Lynn Haven as Panama City Mosley up 36-0. Northview and South Walton. What a game this is. Northview up 56-42 in the fourth quarter. Yikes. Remember, Northview loves to run the football, so a lot of offense there. And obviously, West Florida 28-14 over Choctaw.
And I've got a score for you as well. The Braves playing tonight to get into the World Series, leading 3-1 against the Dodgers. And right now, they're winning the game. It's early. They are in the bottom of the third. Braves up 2-0. Here we go. There it is again with that little forward pass, sweep, blitzer, half pass.
The mop. The mop play. That's what the Swiffer sweeper. That's what we'll call it tonight.
Well, whatever it was, it actually didn't work as the Wildcats.
That was the off-brand Swiffer sweeper.
Exactly. I mentioned the Braves, Jeff. I just can't tell you what a Braves fan I am. I'm paying close attention to that one. Third down.
No, it's awesome. The Braves, and look, how about that win yesterday? That was surprising. And starting A.J. Minner, the relief pitcher tonight. So far, so good for the Braves. I'm not a Dodger fan, by the way. Make that very clear.
Steele handles the low snap.
Oh! Didn't turn around in time.
Timing route not quite working there. Eric Smith again, the intended receiver, but it will be fourth down. So the Eagles are able to, at this point, stall things out. Looks like the Wildcats want to kick a field goal, as you can see that unit coming onto the field. And Pine Forest needs to block this if they can.
Yeah, remember, there's been some low kicks by Mr. Bucko tonight.
Yeah,
so this is a perfect opportunity to block another one.
Ricky Bucko on here.
Good old Bucko.
This is about a 22-yarder.
This is a freshman, by the way.
Yeah, I actually know the Buccos quite well. Very nice family. That's up, and that
How about that?
Real good. So, well done there, Ricky, and that will make it 23-7.
Hey, easy on the kicker right there, young freshman.
Yeah.
How about it? I didn't realize he was a freshman until I had to double take on our roster, and kickers are hard to come by.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that. I tell you what, that looks like that. Washington has a pretty good one right there.
Well, if you're head coach Tommy Joe Whitten and your starting kicker is making 20 to 30 yarders and he's a freshman, that feels real good because you know you may be in a pretty good place here for the next few years.
Yeah, I remembered that Kaya Storniolo was their kicker before, and looks like they've swapped over to Mr. Bucko now. So, hey, you know what? Looking good right there.
So it does change the score with 4:49 to go. It's 23-7 here. Wildcats hoping to close things out, but Pine Forest will get the ball back. And just a few minutes ago, one of the two Pine Forest quarterbacks, and I don't mean by that backup and starter because they both are pretty much starters, Dalton Biggs was injured. He is the one who's a little more comfortable throwing the ball, it looks like, but he's not going to be able to do that because he came out of the game. So I would imagine T.J. Wilson will run the show for the Eagles here for the remainder, and he's going to try and put something together and put it together quickly.
Wildcats kick it away.
Fielded at the 20, nearly dropped, but able to pull it in and out to about the 32, 33-yard line.
Well, here we go. Like you said, T.J. Wilson coming in at quarterback, and this is going to be interesting. I want to see him throw the football as well. We've seen Dalton Biggs. We know he can get the ball down the field in a hurry. And for Mr. T.J. Wilson, here's your opportunity. You want to prove that you're not just a runner? Well, no better time than the present, young man.
Biggs is still being tended to at the Andrews Institute Sports Tent. Sitting there now, looks like they're wrapping him up. He was in a lot of pain, clearly, so very hopeful that it's nothing too serious. There you can see him as the trainers continue to work for him. And back on the field, Wilson's ready to get things cruising. And you want to see him pass, and he throws. Oh, should have been picked off. It was not. But perhaps that's why he's not throwing it too much, because that was not a great pass.
Yeah, Eldrick Robinson right there, which, by the way, this is the young man that came into tonight tied for leading the area in tackles with 32. He's pretty darn good, by the way. Senior coming in there. had an opportunity to make a big interception and go ahead. And I think obviously this game is kind of out of reach, but nonetheless to go ahead and put an exclamation point on it, but missed his opportunity.
So Wilson will throw again. This time he is able to complete the pass. That's number 14 for Pine Forest. He makes the catch.
Dagan guy again. And here's something interesting with that almost interception. You wonder if TJ is not going to want to throw the football down the field, if he's going to be a little gun shy, because there was a Eagle running down the sideline free right there, and he didn't look at him. So interesting to see how that's going to play out.
You know, Jeff, you're a former high school quarterback. Well, would that happen to you if you nearly threw a pick? You start to get a little more careful. 3rd and 5. Wilson steps up into the pocket, and he's going to keep running. Not able to get the first down. It's going to be 4th down and about 3, it looks like. Just didn't have anybody open, or perhaps, you know, again, like you said, being a little more careful after the near pick.
Yeah, but I tell you what, when you're down like this, you get a little bit of leeway. You got to try to make some plays down the field,
right.
And so you got to throw the football.
Yeah, like that's a good way to put it. You get a little leeway. It's like if you make a questionable pass, it's like, well, right, in this position, we're down big late in the game, just got to go for stuff. 4th down now, and looks like we've got a timeout on the field here as the Eagles want to talk about it. Obviously, if the game's not over, then this is kind of it. It's 4th down and about 3 or 4, and certainly if they don't convert here, that's all she wrote. It may be anyway, but obviously Coach Douglas says, let's just call the timeout. Let's talk about this because we got to get this right. Hey, tonight, don't forget, and I'm sure you won't, if you're watching us, you pay close attention to high school football, and I know you want to watch Dan Shugart, Steve Nissom, Friday Night Rivals. We're Friday Night Rivals. They're prep football final. Look at those smiles.
There they are.
Yeah, they're
legends.
They're the best. It's a great show. You know, listen, I'm not blowing smoke. Every single week when I leave this booth, I drive home, usually pick something up to eat, and set up shop there right in front of the TV and watch them kind of run down everything else that happened. It's great fun. It's a great show. They always have a great story to tell. So prep football final tonight at 11 o'clock, right after Channel 3 News at 10, of course.
Yeah, we got to be thinking about our player and play of the game, Closets by Design play of the game, and, of course, our Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram player. Got a lot of, I tell you what.
Yeah, I know who I think is the player of the game.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
To me, it's an obvious choice, actually. Do you have anyone in mind?
I have a few.
Assuming Washington wins, obviously.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, I have my guy.
I'm down with it.
So they go for it on 4th down. It's going to be very close. Depends on where they spot it. I
Looks
think
like he's going to be short.
By
he is short.
Yard. And you can see the Wildcat coaches are celebrating. And
you
that
cannot run that route any shorter than the sticks, the first down marker there. And you see it. It's a good pass.
You see this all the time, Jeff, and you see it at every level, not just in high school, college and pros. And you think, why'd you run the route a yard short of the first? I mean, at high school, you understand. These are high schoolers. But when you see it at the next level, and then even in the NFL, that's always frustrating.
Yeah, it really is. And, when you look at the score here, you look at Pine Forest gave up 23 points on defense, and it's not necessarily the case. It is. They gave up some points, but remember, 2 of the scores for Washington were in short yardage situations.
Yeah.
Obviously, early on in the game there, so the defense played their hearts out. The offense just couldn't get it going.
So the Wildcats really will do their best to run as much clock as possible, and I think in their perfect world, they'll just find a way to end the game right here.
Direct snap, number 19, DeAndre Smiley.
It's DeAndre Smiley here who takes that direct snap. Might have picked up a yard.
Yeah, it's tell you what, for Washington, once again, this is a big win for them. Obviously, losing last week, 14-6, and driving going into the 3-yard line, and they couldn't put it in the end zone. A great job, obviously, for the Wildcats to rebound this week, getting back on track, and this is a very talented Wildcat squad. But for Pine Forest, I tell you what, even more impressive is the fact this team on defense is as good as it can get. They just did not get any help from their offense tonight, and it's back to the drawing board for the offense.
And another direct snap here to Mr. Smiley, who has a nice little run, and I'm not sure if he got the first. It's going to be close here as the clock rolls at 2:15. Yeah, it's going to be 3rd, gosh, maybe not even a full yard. So a couple of direct snaps there as the Wildcats are doing their best to run this clock. And it's interesting, Jeff, you know, it's always frustrating to lose a game in whatever sport, and you rarely get a shot in football a week later to beat the very same team, and the Wildcats are going to pull that off tonight, losing last week at home to Pine Forest, and now tonight going to come on the road and beat them.
Yeah, it just comes down to just the will right there. And you looked, obviously, Pine Forest is still searching for an identity on offense. You hope Dalton Biggs is going to be okay. I still think this Pine Forest team is in good hands with T.J. Wilson. I think he's a good quarterback. He's a very capable quarterback. But they got to figure out who they are. I tell you what, I think you'll agree with me on this. This team for Pine Forest actually looks pretty good throwing the football.
Absolutely they do. Yes, no doubt about it. You know, we've seen a couple of plays, and certainly maybe more with Biggs in, where you thought, Jeff, honestly, you thought, gosh, I'm kind of surprised they're not throwing it more often. Yeah, especially in that first half. They had a few really good opportunities. But you may have seen that was another direct snap to Smiley. We've seen that all 3 plays here on this drive as the clock is now down to a minute. He didn't get it, so it will be 4th down as the play clock's at 6. Looks like Washington's going to call a timeout maybe right when it gets down to 1 here and then run one more play.
Yeah, and I tell you what, how about our game? We talk about it. Obviously, this one's pretty much all but over. But our game next week, once again, reminder, Fort Walton Beach at Navarre. We will be at Navarre, a upstart Fort Walton Beach squad. They're getting better. I tell you what, and they're going to be going against an undefeated Navarre team. Remember, Navarre was supposed to play Niceville tonight. They did not get to due to Niceville COVID-19 concerns there, as Navarre was 3-0, Niceville was 4-0 for Fort Walton Beach. Well, same thing. They're going to have a little extra rest as I believe they had some their COVID-19 concerns of their own. They were supposed to play pace. And so nonetheless, these 2 teams will be rested up and ready to go for our big matchup next week. And we appreciate Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram for sponsoring it.
You know, like you said, FWB is a team on the move, but it is never easy.
FWB, baby.
Yeah, that's right. Never.
I like it.
You like that?
I do.
Never easy to go into Navarre and win. They're always ready. They're undefeated, as you said, having another good year. And that'll be a tall order, but a real test for Fort Walton Beach and a chance to make a statement. So I'm looking forward to that already.
Anywhere they have fried Oreos, it's always tough to win.
But not tough to visit.
No, not at all.
4th and about a foot here as the Wildcats are going to go and just try to keep things moving. And I think they've got it. From Pensacola State College, it's going to be one more 1st and 10, and that should be the very end here as Washington now has a chance to just kind of go into the classic victory formation.
Well, this was once again a great win for the Wildcats of Booker T. Who are we, Booker T? I know that's their call there, so when you look at it, Pine Forest, back to the drawing board, but still a very good team defensively.
No doubt about that. So it is the 1st down for Pine Forest.
Guess they didn't get it.
I don't.
I'm confused.
It looked like
as
they
you
got
are.
it picked up about 4 or 5.
Well, nonetheless.
Yeah, right. We can talk about it all night. We're sitting up here in the Friday Night Rival Sports booth, of course, brought to you by Northwest Florida, but those officials are down on the field, and they made the call, and I'll get out of their way. So Pine Forest now has one more chance to do something.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Exactly.
Oh, no chance.
Oh,
hey, how about
this?
this?
You may want to hush up there, Jeff. Nice big gain all the way down to the 46-yard line. That's a terrific play.
That TJ going to dump it off to number 22.
Mr. Gavin Grice on this. We've seen him make some big plays tonight. If anything, it's the stat builder. How about that?
Yeah, Grice, we knew coming into the game he was going to have a big night. He's really the go-to guy on the Pine Forest offense, and he has played very well. Obviously, it's not going to be well enough because they're just down too much here with half a minute to go. But it is another 1st down from Pensacola State College and down at the 46-yard line. Miller out of the shotgun. Going to throw it deep. Flag on the play. Picked off. And now return to maybe the 15 or 16. There is a flag. So we'll see if this pick stands. If it does, then we'll see one more play from Washington. But
Wildcats are going to pick it off, but let's see what the officials say.
Here we go. Defensive
on the
holding,
defense,
so that
10-yard penalty from the previous spot, 1st down.
Will not last, will not stand. It's going to be 1st down instead for Pine Forest, so they'll have another shot to throw to the end zone.
Yeah, we can't see it right here in our heating and air conditioning instant replay, but just throwing it up and trying to see if your guy can go out and make a play. But interception, but although it doesn't count, we got a defensive holding penalty. That's a second one on the Wildcats tonight.
Yep. There you can see the officiating crew counting things off. It'll be down to the 31-yard line.
It's going to be holding on defense.
And, you know, look, I mean, Pine Forest will have, if nothing else, another shot or two to throw to the end zone, try to get a few more points out of this. Miller gets the orders from the sideline. Gonna throw right over the middle, throws it behind his man, but it's a great catch. I believe that was JoJo Garrett. Couldn't tell if that was an 8 or not, but I think it was. Still can't tell. Was that an 8 or not? Jersey caught up a little bit. Tough to see. 9 seconds to go. None of it matters that much at this point.
Yeah, it was number 8 right there,
so
JoJo.
It was JoJo.
So Pine Forest trying to, you know, this is about pride, going in here and trying to put the ball in the end zone. More about trying to figure it out. Let's move on to next week. Obviously, remember, once again, we say it every week, but everybody makes the playoffs this year. How about that? It's
an odd circumstance,
the
for
participation trophy that is 2020 at this point. But, you know, with crazy circumstances, look, everything is acceptable this year. I get it, you know. But for some teams, obviously, they'll have to play a play-in game November 6th. Other teams will move on to the first round in November 13th. So I know Booker T already knows they're playing Milton in the play-in game.
Isn't that odd?
That is wild.
These teams already know who they're playing.
Yeah, Pace has they play in the first round. They don't have to play in the play-in game, and they'll play the winner of Booker T, Washington, and Milton.
12 seconds to go, 2nd down and 2. Miller's just going to throw it over the middle. Behind his man, nearly picked. It'll stop the clock. And this is just the game that won't end at this point, Jeff.
Moments
ago, we had a
is.
timeout out of nowhere. You can see.
Ball is tipped. Gonna fall.
You know he wants that catch.
That's the sound that he was making too, wasn't it?
3rd down and 2.
Oh, man.
Ooh, look at that hair.
That is beautiful.
Not going to lie. I'm jealous.
Oh, you could pull that look off.
You think? I think on my best day, my high school days, I didn't have that much hair. Couldn't have if I wanted it. All right, third and a couple with 6.5 seconds to go. And we've got crazy movement. We're going to be here till 1 a.m. with the final 6 seconds of the game.
Encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
The old dastardly encroachment play.
I will say, nice to get one more encroachment in.
There's Dalton Biggs, by the way, as you see him on crutches.
That's no good. Hate to see that.
Nope.
Seriously, that's a bummer. He was, I mean, it was clear he was in some
He's
real
an
pain.
electric player. I tell you what, I was very impressed with him tonight. And I hope he gets better because this team with him throwing the football is pretty darn good.
All right, 6.5 seconds to go, 1st and 10. Wilson going to throw to the end zone, and that will be picked off. And look at him hop his own man. And that's how the game will end, with one more turnover. So
it was a turnover earlier. It was a turnover to end it right there. Not sure who Mr. Wilson was throwing to, but obviously Santonio Coleman, the entire staff. Once again, great job defensively for these guys and pulling out a big win.
So the Washington Wildcats, 1 week after losing to Pine Forest, come to their place and actually beat them. Final score 23-7. We're going to come back with our player of the game, our play of the game, the presentation of the trophy. Please stay with us.
You're watching Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Friday Night Rivals, presented by Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
We are live, we are back, and you are looking at Coach Tommy Joe Whitten, the head coach from Washington High School. No doubt pumped about his team's big win tonight. Coach Whitten, appreciate you spending a moment with us. Christian Garman, Jeff Price here up in the booth. So, hey, man, what a difference a week makes. A rare occurrence that you actually play the same team on back-to-back Friday nights. They come to your place last week, and they beat you 14-6 in a terrific game, but you're able to flip the script tonight, winning this 23-7. What was the difference, Coach?
Well, tonight we just showed what we're really capable of and the team that we can be. Honestly, last week, I mean, when we didn't play to our standard, that ultimately that falls on me. I didn't have our team ready to play last week. And, you know, we had a great week of practice, kind of circled the wagons, and got back to playing our style of football.
Coach, in an odd year, that is for sure, as we're around midway through the season and you start thinking, hey, everybody makes the playoffs. What are the things you're honing in on that you really want to work on to get things rolling as we start looking ahead?
Well, the focus this week was getting back to running the football. Last week we had negative 2 yards rushing, which is not, you know, is unacceptable, and really challenged our offensive line and our running backs, and thought they did a really good job of stepping up to that challenge tonight.
Well, Coach, I think you're right, because you're getting out of here with a win, and of course you're also going to get out of here with some hardware. So let's go ahead and hand over that trophy. Congratulations to Coach Wooden and the Washington Wildcats. That's well done. Good job there, Coach, and good job to all the Wildcats. So Jeff, it's a great win for Washington. We still have a little bit of business to take care of. We always want to talk about our play of the game. We've got player of the games, and let's start with our player of the game. And you were nice enough to let me make the call. This is brought to us by Hill Kelly, of course. And I tell you, I had to go with Miles Murphy. He impressed me all night, just big play after big play.
Yeah, absolutely. And I tell you what, he wasn't a factor of the game a couple weeks ago against Scambia. I tell you what, this guy was phenomenal out of the backfield. Started off catching the football out of the backfield for some big plays. You see him running here, tough yards. He could do it all, and he was definitely the guy for him tonight. I mean, that was the guy that got him going. Mr. Consistency. He didn't turn the football over. You see that right there. Big plays all night long. Miles Murphy definitely deserving of our Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram player of the game.
No doubt. Very impressive young man. A big night for him. And now we move on to the Closets by Design play of the game. And, you know, Jeff, I think that the play I wanted to think about was the turnover on the punt. You may remember this in the second quarter. It was 0-0, and the Wildcats were forced to punt. Cavante Qualls for Pine Forest went to make kind of an over-the-shoulder catch, not able to field it. Washington recovered, got their first touchdown, and to me, that's when things kind of changed.
Yeah, and I think that's obviously the play. I would agree with 100% because that's when it all went downhill. And Washington, once again, we talk about a team that plays with swagger. Anytime they turn the Pine Forest turned the football over tonight, Washington turned it into points, and that's what championship teams do. And once again, that's why Washington's walking out of here with a win.
No doubt. So as we wrap things up from the Northwest Florida State College Sports booth, we remind you tonight at 11 o'clock, it's Prep Football Final with Dan Shugart and Steve Nissom. Highlights from this game, but also highlights from games up and down the Gulf Coast. It's so much fun to watch. You can catch it at 11 right after Channel 3 News. And then next week, we will be live from Navarre, one of our favorite places to go. It's going to be Fort Walton Beach at Navarre. Should be a lot of fun. And remember, those Santa Rosa County games start at 7:30, unlike Escambia. So next week, kickoff will be at 7:30. For Jeff Price, for all of us from Friday Night Rivals, I'm Christian Garman, and we're so glad you stuck it out with us. Looking forward to seeing you again 1 week from tonight.